I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't covering my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, who play, who play, play, who don't play.
Music licensing reimagined.
Play, who don't play, who play, who play, play, who don't play, who play, who play, play, who don't. Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling, going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Turn up the sun up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving the mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
Oh, what is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS By the Numbers and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC London. We have Movsar Evalev going against Lerone Murphy. We are back in London for a 14-fight card. Wheezy back-to-back 14 fight cards. They are putting us to work these last couple weeks. What's up?
Yeah, they're putting us to work these last couple of months, my friend. I mean, we've got something like 12 or 14 straight weeks and now back-to-back 14 fight cards. So, yeah, the research duties are really piling up here, but it's a fun card. I like this card quite a bit. I mean, we got fights like Mason Jones, Asell, Solola. We got Curtis, the Pink Pounder, Campbell coming in against Danny Silva. Christian Leroy Duncan, Delid is a great fight. The return of Baroninski. Michael Paige, Sam Patterson, Luke Riley, who's a fun fighter, gets Asell Jr. in the co-main, and then Evalev shows up once every year to fight, and this is the time that we get to see Movsar, and we'll see him again in late 2027. So enjoy this performance by Movsar Evalev when he wins a boring decision. Should be a great card, though. Really looking forward to it and breaking it down with you in the chat here, Brady.
Yeah, we got an early start time as well. I believe these fights are kicking off at 1 Eastern on Saturday.
That's nice. That's nice. I wouldn't mind getting my my database updated on Saturday instead of doing it on Sunday. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, maybe I'll go do something Saturday night, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think March Madness is coming up starting Thursday, so...
Oh, then the bars are going to be packed. You'll be able to have a good time, go out somewhere, get a couple of drinks, watch the games. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Looks like we're still having problems with X. Oh, God!
You've got to be kidding me, dude. Why?
I don't know.
Why are you doing this to us?
So I got to go and I got to like manually post it, making me do extra work. I don't know who to blame though. I don't know who to yell at because is it X's fault? Is it StreamYard's fault? But I know one thing for sure, it's not my fault.
It's probably some kind of a feud that they have going.
Yeah, it could be a feud.
There could be a feud, you know, maybe like X's algorithm doesn't really like StreamYard streaming software, so they're kind of like convincing them to change to a different format or something. I don't know what they're doing here, but it's getting in the way of us being able to provide free content to the masses.
Yeah, it's like give me a break. Give me a break.
It's terrible, but it is what it is, man. We got to go that extra mile sometimes to be able to put this content out for you guys. And, you know, the streaming software, the technology is supposed to help us make it a little bit easier, but it doesn't always work the way we think it's going to work.
No, but I just got the tweet out, so hopefully that fixes things. But I can tell you right now, 3 people aren't watching from X. Like only 3, really? Only 3?
3 people, really?
Pathetic. That's pathetic.
God, I'm one of them, and I got 2 bots watching it too. So
right?
Like, what the hell, man? Come on,
you got to get it together. But all right, Wheezy, I say we do a quick recap of what the heck happened. Vegas 14 over the weekend.
Yes, that's what happened.
All right, do you want to kick it off? It was a good card, actually. I truly think it was the best card of the year. There wasn't much competition, but I think it was probably the most fun card yet, which is crazy to say, but yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
We had a great time on the watch along watching those fights. They were fantastic. Didn't have a great time with my bets though, unfortunately. You know, I lost 2 units. I had a unit on Harry Hardwick, which I didn't mind that bet at plus 230. You know, I thought Rahiki really had a ton to prove. And if there was any quit or any durability problems with that guy, he would have been in trouble there. because that was a great back and forth fight. We were going nuts during that fight. And we were really looking forward to that third round. And then they came back from commercial. And I was like, wait, what? It looks like the fight's over, And turns out Harry got his jaw broken. So he's been in some bangers in there. And that was a great fight. But yeah, I lost on Harry Hardwick. Took the shot. Was hoping maybe he could take over down the stretch of that fight. But Marwan looked really good with his striking and didn't give up much in terms of takedowns or grappling. My night kind of swung on Vitor Petrino finding a finish. So obviously the night didn't go well because I had a half unit on Petrino by submission. And I thought he was going to get that when he got to Aslan's back after he hurt him. But he didn't. And I also had a unit on parlay, which was fight doesn't go to decision for Sosa versus Oki, parlayed with Vitor Petrino to win inside the distance. I really thought Petrino was going to wrestle a lot more and take advantage of the grappling hole that exists in Aslan's game, but he was unable to do that. But I was still pretty buoyed there at the end of the first round when I saw that Aslan, who's usually a guy who has really good cardio, looked fatter than usual and was looking up at the clock, Brady, with 1 minute left in the first round. I looked at the clock twice between in that last minute of the first round. I'm like, oh, Petrino's going to get him. But then he didn't shoot any more takedowns in the second or third rounds and did not find that finish. And it wound up being a pretty close fight because Aslan almost got him out of there at one point. I think it was, I forget it was the end of the first round or in the second. But either way, that killed me because like the Oki Sosa fight doesn't go was a good read. It took a while to get there, but that was another incredible fight. I had Elijah Smith to win by KO, and he violently drops Su Young Yu, gets on top, starts pounding him out with ground and pound, and then finishes with the submission. So I lost. That was a good read, but it just didn't hit. And then I had fight goes to decision for Chris Curtis versus Miktabek Oralby. That hit at -135 for 1 unit. So yeah, down 2 units, had a couple of bad bounces that didn't go my way, but I kept it really light on that card. And I think this card is a card I'm going to be a lot more active in terms of with what I do with my bets.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a good card. It was my best card yet from a betting perspective and a pick perspective. I think it went like 13-1 on picks. The only one that didn't come through was Omar C. And it's not that he lost the fight. Like, okay, he lost to Kudalaba. Like, that's so fine. It's that he insta-tapped to a guillotine. Like, really, really, Omar? Like, really? That's what cost me a perfect card with picks. But with the losses, I took a fight doesn't go to decision shot on the Johnson Silva fight. Silva hadn't been to decision in like 8 fights. I like the pressure out of Bruno Silva, but really didn't do a lot with the pressure. I actually kind of thought that Silva might even won that fight. It turns out that Charles Johnson was fighting with both a concussion and an injured foot. So that's kind of why Charles said he was like on the back foot for the most part. Didn't really do a ton, but Charles Johnson won the fight. Took a fight doesn't go decision shot at plus money on the Robertson Lemos fight. That really wasn't close at all. I mean, Lemos was landing some big shots on the feet, but she ended up going for guillotines and arm bars and ending up on bottom and kind of throwing away the fight there. I had this is probably what hurt me the most. I was very confident in Delgado to win the fight, and I thought he would go out there and finish Feely, keep that 100% finish rate intact. But the fight ends up going to decision. And just not a ton of urgency out of Jose Delgado, and even hurt Feely pretty badly at one point in the fight, but just didn't follow up on it. So I lost on the Delgado inside the distance and the Delgado KO 1-2. And then the other loss was, and this one is kind of frustrating, Petrino sub 1, sub 2. I got sub 2 at plus 1,100 for a half unit to win 5.5 units, Wheezy. Oh, Asplin like slips in the second round. Petrino gets on his back, gets both hooks in. Vitor Petrino just got his black belt, 3 or 4 months ago. You got this white belt in front of you. You got his back, both hooks in, and somehow you don't choke him out. I couldn't believe my eyes. It's like, how good is Denzel Freeman? Because Denzel Freeman went through Steven Asplin on the mat like a hot knife through butter, and Petrino couldn't submit Steven Aspin. So that would have been a massive, like 5.5 unit win. Had Petrino had any jiu-jitsu whatsoever. I think he needs to hit up Dan over at Team Octopus and get some lessons. You got to choke out Steven Aspin on that spot, right? I mean, that was insane. But the wins, Bia Mesquita inside the distance, or I had Bia Mesquita in the under 2.5 same game parlay. It came out to like minus 120 for 2 units. Those are kind of the spots that have been hurting me all year, where it's like, dude, you got Montserrat Rendon, the worst fighter on the roster, in front of you. Go out there and finish her. And surprisingly, she hurt Montserrat Rendon on the feet. She wobbled her twice. She dropped her. She got on top. She beat the crap out of her, and she submitted her. So that came through with flying colors, as expected. You know, that was my most confident pick on the board. And then I had Rahiki KO 1-2 at plus 210 for 0.75 units. Got extremely lucky there. I thought it was dead in the water because the fight was heading to the 3rd round, and then they randomly stopped the fight because Harbeck had a broken jaw. So cashed the KO 1-2 at plus 210. But what made my night was Manuel Souza KO 2-3 at plus 490 for 0.75 units, and then Manuel Souza by knockout at plus 225 as well. I doubled down on it. I thought that Manuel Souza by KO was the most mispriced line on the entire board. And after watching the fight, I think we can all agree that yes, it was, because he was trying to knock out Balaji Oki with everything that landed. And quite frankly, I'm shocked it took that long for him to knock out Oki. Oki showed a ton of heart, and then he eventually brutally got knocked out late 3rd round. So that was insane. The reaction on the Fight Companion was insane, but Manuel Souza got it done for me. So my night came down to Manuel Souza. Shout out to him for at least, bringing the violence and trying and showing some urgency. So yeah, UFC London, guys, should be a solid card as well. We got a bunch of big favorites. We have a couple sanctioned murders. We have a couple like horrible fighters on this card, Weezy, like Antonio Tracali, Austin Lane, Ravenna Olivera. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, Sutherland is pretty bad as well. It's gonna be an interesting card. But what is up, everybody in the chat? If you guys can do us a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We go live every Monday, 10:15 Eastern time, not a second late. And then we also are doing the Fight Companions on Saturday. This Saturday, we're going to be going live. I'm going to be going live at 12 Eastern time, 1 hour before the prelims, and then staying on all day for the Fight Companion there. Uncle Weasel will hop on whenever he wakes up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then, of course, this show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Right now, if you go to Underdog, use code DFSBTN. New customers will get $75 in bonus funds when you play with your first $5 lineup. Check it out, Underdog Fantasy. Thank you, Underdog Fantasy, for sponsoring the show and keeping Stat Diggers alive. All right, what's up, chat? We got Dixon Side, our first one in here. Brandon Weezy, as a man of faith and a believer in second opportunities, I gave Charles Johnson's bum ass a chance to redeem himself if he finished Bruno in round 3. But once again, he let us down. He sucks. I'm not a big fan of Charles Johnson, and I don't think I ever was, but especially now, I'm just not a big fan of him. He did start to throw down with like 15 seconds left, and but man, he showed up concussed. He showed up apparently with a foot injury, but he got the job done, even though a lot of people thought he did not. We got Elijah One in the building. What is up, Elijah One? What's good? Antonio Tracali fight week. Stand up. Yes, stand up. Antonio Tracali fight week starts now. Come on. London cards typically devoid of violence. Let's hope that changes Saturday. Let's hope so. But I am picking quite a few decisions. I can't tell if C tried to lose that or if he's that bad. Yeah, he must be bad, man. I mean, getting insta-tapped by Iwan Kudalaba is insane. Absolutely insane. I couldn't believe my eyes. And by the way, you guys can vote to see who needs to get some help, and we'll touch on that after we get through the chat. Late? No, we were not late. We're actually on time. Yeah. Dante Johnson is the best prospect in the UFC at the moment.
The best prospect to give me a thrombo, by not going out there and oh god, man, that was just brutal.
Yeah. We got Dante Johnson's burner account in the building. What is up, Dante? Don't want to say anything mean about the guy. I don't want to hurt his feelings. He's very sensitive, Dante Johnson. So everybody in the chat, let's not say he's a chump. We don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, okay? We got Ver in the building. What is up, Ver? if Johnson's the best prospect in the sport, or then the sport's in big trouble, well, he's not the best prospect or anywhere near it. Absolutely not. Hope everyone cashed this weekend. I don't bet MMA anymore, but I had Kubala as my pick to win. There you go. He not only won, but he submitted that bum. Omar C. I'm surprised they didn't cut C today. I thought they would cut him for sure. I mean, that's getting guillotined by Iwan Kudalaba. You got to get cut there. Omar C., you not only need help, you need a team of scientists and doctors, like maybe Dr. Peter, to get you a win in the UFC. Either you massively suck or you're eating the fattest T-bone steak. I believe Kudalaba sub 1 was paying like at least plus 2,000. I mean, something crazy like that.
It had to be, like I said that there was a 0% chance that he would sub Ibo Aslan, who has no ground game, and like C is known for his ground game. I mean, if you would have asked me, what would you line that at? It'd have been like plus 2,500 or something like that. I can't believe he finished him with a submission.
Just crazy. It was crazy. Smash the like button. Agreed. Where's the option for Herb Deem to get some help? He needs it bad. What did Herb do? Did he do anything bad over the weekend? I forget. It's all a blur at this point.
I remember in the Tobias fight, Tobias got either kicked in the nuts or poked in the eye, and then he took like 10 unanswered shots shelling up while he was waiting for Herb Dean to make the other guys stop fighting. I remember that.
I remember what he did to poor Dan Hooker.
Oh, yeah, that was rough, dude. Benoit was just bouncing his head off the canvas. I remember that.
Yeah, that was brutal. Let's go, boys. Finally turning it back around, back-to-back positive weeks. There you go. Couldn't do without you guys. Glad to hear, Jay. Hopefully you keep it rolling this week with UFC London. Right on time, every time. Exactly. Only haters and casuals will say different. You know what's up. We got Dawn in the building. What is up, Dawn? I just put my entire savings on Mosvar. Best of luck to you. Pumar C. We got 138 MMA in the building. What is up? Catching Stat Diggers live is a real treat. Usually got to catch the replay. Good to have you in here, buddy. Hopefully you're doing well. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I'm getting on Ricky Simon.
That's next week. Ricky Simon's, he just got put on the UFC Seattle card. I think it was the last fight that was added. I just put out the stats package for that. Who is that? Who is he fighting? They didn't even have it on UFC stats yet because it was just added. But yeah, they just and I mean, like he's the hometown guy, so it was smart that they got him on there. But we'll see.
Yeah, Ricky Simone, it looks like he's fighting Adrian Yanez. That's a good fight.
Oh, God, yeah. I would probably, yeah. The first time they let Yanez get in there against someone that could wrestle his way out of a paper bag, I don't think it's going to go well for Adrian.
We got Dr. Peener in the building. What up, Big Brady and the Magic Baby in the manger? The Lord Weezus. What's up, Dr. Peener? I think Harry Hardwick needs some help as well. Leg broke in the debut, jaw broke in the second fight. He's had a tough run, and that's brutal. Brutal.
Yeah.
10 a.m. UFC London prelims start time for me in Portland, Oregon. Breakfast, coffee, and violence. Let's go. Let's go. When was Mosvar's last fight? Years ago. Years and years and years ago. Did you try on linking your X account and then relinking it? No. Do you think that would work? Do you think that would help? Maybe I'll have to try it.
Yeah, but we still get this error message that goes out to every StreamYard user every time we log on and try to do a live stream. It says that they're having trouble streaming to X. So it's just something that seems to be not like necessarily our thing, but their thing somehow.
Yeah, I noticed that halfway through the first round, Asplin was looking at the clock. He looked at the clock like 3 or 4 times in the first round. That was crazy. Oki walkout was fire. Yeah, it was actually both walkouts were fire. I mean, both guys looked pissed off.
Yeah.
Souza looked pissed off. Oki looked pissed off. And I knew right then and there, we're getting some violence. And we did. It took a while, but we got some violence. I heard Asplin has a sex tape with Jessica Andrade. That's the most disgusting thing I've heard in a very long time. If Delgado got the finish, I would have been up 8K. If Delgado got the finish, it would have been like an 8-unit knife me or something like that. It would have been crazy. But he did not. Only French guys I bet are Cyril and Faris. There you go. Yeah, far as I am is pretty dang good.
Yeah, he is. What about the last butt pirate, Morgan Charrier?
Charrier, yeah,
You know,
he's okay. Yeah, I know somebody that's not a big fan of him. Somebody that nicknamed him the butt
yeah,
pirate.
yeah. I don't know who that was. You know, that was cold. You know,
Dude, some of the shots that Oki was taking on the chin, it just made no sense. Like me and Weezy were screaming, like, "Oki, it's okay to go down. Nobody will blame you, Oki." It's like, what you're getting.
He was losing on the scorecards anyway. You know, I mean, he just take a dive, man. You know, there's no reason to take that kind of damage.
Just go down. Dante Johnson, 27 champ. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's up, Brady? What's up, Weezy? What is up, TH? Good to see you in here. It was a hard choice with this pull, to be honest, but I think I'll go with Umar. Yeah, I went with Umar as well. What? Dante Johnson's ticklish. His only weakness. No, his weakness is trying to lock up the Brundage neck instead of just pounding away and getting a TKO. That was ridiculous. Oh yeah, he did give Emmett a long leash for sure. That was brutal. We got Dan from half the battle. Charles Johnson needs some serious help along with the judges that scored that fight for him. Yeah, I mean, I scored it for Silva. So yeah, Charles Johnson, I didn't think he had the best performance, and I thought he had, one of the worst haircuts I've ever seen. It's like he's letting that skullet really grow out. If he's not careful, that skullet's going to come alive and do some damage. I mean, that it's getting like really, we can see a horror movie with that on the back of his head. It's just terrifying to look at. And yeah, not the best performance from Charles Johnson. Yeah, Lamos absolutely shit the bed. I mean, some of the worst fight IQ I've ever seen in my entire life, Amanda Lamos. Did Harvick get 100K? He did. And he's going to need that 100K to fix that jaw. Oh, my gosh. But he deserved it, man. That fight was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Happened to Dan, too, for the... Yeah, I mean, I guess it's going around. Hopefully they fix it, but it's been like a month. It's like, come on. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Harry deserves a layup when he gets back. Yeah, give him a layup. Agreed. He deserves it. What? Dante Johnson would pound Andrade and Cachoeira the same night? What?
I think he's right about that, actually. I don't think Jessica Andrade would be fast enough for Dante. I think Dante could just kind of...
I think he's talking about...
and then Cachoeira the same night.
He's talking about sex, though, not fighting. Pound.
Oh, is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, he's gonna pound them sexually.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, well, touche.
Yeah, I'm done with Charles Johnson. I'm done with that guy. Brother Brady, Uncle Weezy, did you guys see Charles Johnson do a cartwheel into the octagon and fell outside the cage through the open door?
No.
What the heck? No, I didn't. That's hilarious, though. That's funny.
I didn't see that.
All right. So the milking of the week last week fell flat on its face. Delgado to pipe Andre touchy-feely on site. We saw a much more patient Jose Delgado, and that patience almost cost him because he went to split decision as like a minus 500 favorite. And he won his first decision, though. I'm not sure he even won that fight, to be honest.
It was very close. Definitely a very close fight. I thought Philly might actually get the nod.
Yeah, well, you got to give Philly the first round, and then
yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, very, very disappointed with Jose Delgado. But hey, a win is a win, and then this is probably the worst milking of the week in Stat Tickers history. I don't know what happened here. We thought, hey, he maybe he can redeem himself. He was the milking of the week against Alonzo Menafield. Maybe he can go out there and redeem himself, Wheezy. But then he gets guillotined by Iwan Kudalaba and Insta-tap. So yeah, not good. We got to get it together. So let's see who needs to get help. All right, let me end the poll here. 90 votes. 90 votes.
Okay.
All right. In fourth place, believe it or not, at only 4%, Wheezy.
Okay.
Omar C.
All right. Well, who got third then?
In third place at 9%, Omar C.
Okay. All right.
In second place at 17%, Omar C.
Wow.
And then in first place at 70%, which could be a Stat Diggers record.
Wow.
Maybe not. I think the Stat Diggers record was Isaac Bulgarian. But in first place at 70%, Omar C. Omar C. Get your ass out of the UFC, buddy. Get your ass out of the UFC.
I was calling him a blue chip prospect all week, Brady.
Oh, God.
Blue chip prospect.
Oh, God.
You know? I mean, I was like, Kudalaba's going 50-50 with Ivan Urslan and Modestas Bukowskis, you know?
Oh.
And I just remember being like, you know, this is the cheapest we've ever seen him. Maybe I'll get on the money line. And then I watched the tape and I saved the Menafield for last. You know, I saved the Menafield fight for last. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm not laying minus 250 on this guy or whatever it was at the time. And man, am I glad that I didn't.
Yeah. And I didn't bet on him. If I bet on him, I probably wouldn't be here right now. If I lost money on Omar C and he got submitted in the first round, but he did ruin my perfect night. And that's, so I'm hoping they get rid of him. I'm hoping they cut him. Yeah. Like, how does Iwan Kudalaba do that but lose to Modestas Bukowskis? Like, come on, man. I lost a bet on Iwan Kudalaba against Modestas Bukowskis.
So did I, dude. So did I.
Sickening.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I say we get into it here. And, oh, my. Omar C versus Dante Johnson, UFC Syria main event. Oh, my gosh.
They're going to Damascus, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. The C couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. I don't know what he was doing. Like, at one point, he like took down Kudalaba, and then he got like reversed instantly.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's in a guillotine. And the next thing you know, he's tapping instantly. Probably I think that was the quickest tap I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Have you seen a quicker tap, Wheezy?
No, dude. You know what? I remember when the Polish power, what's his name? Blachowicz, he got choked out by Teixeira right after neck surgery. He had him in a rear naked choke from the back, and he tapped immediately as soon as that thing. Oh, and then there was obviously Cedricus Dumas. Both times he tapped in the UFC were extremely fast. But yeah, I mean, it was like, I can't believe that, man. I mean, like, that guy's supposed to be a really good grappler. He got snatched up in a guillotine and tapped in like less than 2 seconds.
Absolutely hilarious. We got Artem in the building. What is up? And Ben saying, do you think more than 3 dogs actually win this week? I don't know. We get a lot of big favorites. I think I'm picking 3 or 4 dogs. But
there's 3 fights that are close to a pick'em. So easily 3 dogs could win this week, especially if one of the more expensive dog or favorites slips on a banana peel, and that could always happen.
Yeah, a lot of favorites have been winning recently. I'd say there could be like 3 or 4 dogs come through. All right, Weezy, I say we get into it. We got UFC London. And is the bout order up to? They're probably going to change it like late in the week, so I guess it doesn't matter. But are we starting with Pinto with Franco?
You know, I think they did change the order a little bit, but let's just start with Pinto Franco. I mean, it's a minus 900 fight. We don't really need to spend a lot of time on it.
No, I want to spend a lot of time on it.
Do you?
I got some stuff to say about this bum Felipe Franco.
You went deep on the Franco tape.
Yeah, let's just say he was fighting in a shopping mall against midgets. I mean, I couldn't believe some of the stuff he was doing, man. But yeah, Mario Pinto versus Felipe Franco. We got Pinto, 28 years old, 6'5" with a 79-inch reach. Felipe Franco, 25 years old, 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. Franco, 3 years younger, 4-inch height disadvantage and a 3-inch reach disadvantage. We have Pinto, who is 5-0 in his last 5 fights, had a knockout win on the Contender Series. He knocked out poor Austin Lane, and then he knocked out TKO'd Jonathan Deniz in the second round, his last fight out. Career best performance from Pinto there. As far as Felipe Franco, he went out there on the Contender Series as a nearly minus 500 favorite against Freddie Vidal, who I think had like 2 or 3 MMA fights at the time. And he gets completely exposed and loses that fight by 3rd round submission. So I actually did dive deep into this fight, Wheezy. I watched all the tape on Felipe Franco, and this guy's fought the worst competition I've ever seen in my entire life. First and foremost, he's fighting in a shopping mall, which I hate that. I mean, malls are not for fighting. Malls are for shopping. Malls are for going to the food court, getting some Chinese food, some Auntie Anne's, hanging with your friends, your family. You know, the malls are not for fighting. There shouldn't be a cage in the mall. And to make matters worse, you know, I was watching this one fight, it looked like they brought in a teenage boy from a store in the shopping mall. This guy was maybe like 4'8". He was like a 4'8" fighter against Felipe Franco, who's like 6'1", 6'2", and he was just towering over him. And then he took down this teenage boy and submitted him shortly after. This guy, Felipe Franco, has 10 wins, and they're all bullshit. And this guy does not have one legitimate win. This is the worst signing off the Contender Series since Jose Medina. I think it's worse. I think it's worse than signing Jose Medina. And Jose Medina went 0-4. So, yeah, this is a shame, man. This is an absolute shame. I got to go Pinto. I mean, Pinto should win this fight just by being not a complete bum. I mean, Mario Pinto's actually good too. He can strike. He can apparently wrestle and grapple. Good ground and pound. So yeah, Pinto wins. I guess it's just a matter of when, because Pinto does take his time in some fights, especially on the feet. He can kind of be a little bit low volume. So I don't know if I mess around with like the over under, but Pinto should win this fight. And I think minus 1,000, it makes total sense to me. But Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, it feels like this is one of those fights where it was like if you were walking down the street and you saw free money, you'd pick it up, right? Because it feels like minus 1,000 isn't nearly wide enough. Not nearly wide enough. This guy Franco, it's perfect that his initials are FF, wow. F Felipe, F Franco, F fraud, F failure, F is for phony, even though that starts with a PH. Like this guy's, I was looking at the record. First of all, he's a Galpao de Luta guy, and they all have fake fights before they come to the UFC. And he even fought one of the same guys that Rafael Cerquera fought. So yeah, I mean, and Pinto's legit. I mean, like that win over Janice, where he showed that he can grapple as well, in addition to having some really slick kickboxing. The only way he loses this fight is if he likes steak, if he likes to throw fights. And I wonder what a Felipe Franco first round submission prop is, because you never know, man. You just never know if this dude's going to take a dive or something, because that's the only way he's going to make money. I mean, like, because this fight is just too easy, and he's not going to get any bonuses for knocking this bum out. So, yeah, it should be Pinto however he wants it. But Franco's only been out of the first round once as a pro.
God. We got Mario Pinto open at minus 300. Like, I don't know why they opened it at minus 300. And now it's minus 900, which makes a lot more sense. As far as Felipe Franco open at plus 250, currently plus 600. The over under set at 1.5. The over 1.5 plus 157. The under 1.5 at minus 180 there. See, I don't really see myself getting involved in this fight. I'm assuming Pinto ITD is, minus 450. What do you think?
Ooh.
A little expensive.
Yeah, a little bit expensive. Yeah, I mean, like, look, they're onto it. And I guess the question is, why did they sign Felipe Franco?
Because he's taking this fight on short notice.
Okay, that's why. All right, because there's nothing on his resume that suggests he should be here at all.
To be Mick Parkin versus Pinto.
Okay, that would have made a lot more sense. So then now Pinto is and he lives in the UK, right, Pinto? I think he lives in trains. Yeah. So it's a good home fight for him. He gets a free win here, and he'll get a free win bonus. And if he's creative enough in how he serves this guy up, maybe he'll even get a bonus. But other than that, I mean, this is a squash match. Is going to be. I mean, poor Felipe Franco is going to run into a dick saw on Saturday in London.
Yeah, it's just unbettable. Pinto by KO minus 175. Yuck. Yeah, Pinto should win, but minus 900. What can you do? Let's see. I never questioned my life more than when I lost money due to a gym teacher beating Franco. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I mean, Freddie Vidal by third round submission was like plus 10,000 Weezy. It was like something crazy that week. I was just shocked.
And both those guys were dead, right? Weren't they both like just dead tired?
Yeah, it was horrible. It's terrible. Felipe Franco fight on Dana White's Contender Series made me sick. What a disgusting performance. It was nasty. It was nasty. I tried to warn everyone when he was on Dana White's Contender Series that Franco was no good. I cashed a bet on Vidal. Wow. He was a big dog. There you go.
Dude, you can take one look at that guy's resume and know that he's a good fade against anybody.
Even Freddie Vidal, which is crazy. Because Freddie Vidal, I think, got destroyed his next fight after that.
He did.
Oh, we got Bob Collins with the 199 saying, Uncle Weezy, I didn't get a story last week. Uncle Weezy actually told a fire story on the Fight Companion.
Yeah, if you go to the Fight Companion that we did just yesterday, or what day is it?
Saturday.
2 days ago. 2 days ago, right before the main card starts, I tell a story about how we road trip down to Dallas, Texas, and had ourselves a bit of a night, bub. So you can check that one out. And I will tell a story, Brady. If we get one underdog sign up using code DFSBTN, where once you put a $5 entry, you get $75 in bonus funds. So like, it's not just like you're doing us a favor, you're doing yourself a favor by going on Underdog and taking advantage of that phenomenal offer. So, I will tell a story. I've got one teed up here. Which one was it? Because of the Texas one. Oh yeah, the University of Illinois walkout. When I was a freshman in college and I was pledging the Sigma Chi fraternity, we had a little bit of fun on that weekend. So yeah, if you guys want to hear a story, we can get one sign up on Underdog. I'll do a little story time with Uncle Weezy today.
Okay, bet. Yeah, one sign up using code DFSBTN, and we get an Uncle Weezy story. And Bub, he told the story after the Hardwick fight, I believe it was after the Hardwick fight, right after. What's more asked, Felipe Franco or the Paramount Services? Felipe Franco, but yeah, what's wrong with Paramount thus far? I mean, we're missing full rounds of fights. We're getting no audio.
I've got to tell you, Brady, I have been pleased as punch with Paramount Service because I remember the ESPN era. I remember the constant outages. I remember actually having to watch two different events on an illegal streaming service because ESPN just flat out didn't even work. How about not being able to watch any fights like on the app itself? How about that? I mean, trying to go back a month and watch a fight, good luck. It's gone, and they won't even provide a link for you. So Paramount is so much better than ESPN. All of you people, you owe Paramount an apology. Dude, we're getting this shit for $6 a month I'm paying.
I don't think people understand that.
$6 a month we're paying for Paramount, and ESPN, those clowns were charging us $25 a month, and then it's about to go up to something like 30 or 35. So I mean, like, I am fine with the Paramount era. The fights maybe haven't been as good, but that's not their fault.
Yeah. Paramount's getting a lot of heat. Rafael Cerqueira walks so Felipe Franco could run. Yeah, Cerqueira surprisingly is better than Felipe Franco. Cerqueira went 3 rounds with Julius Walker. Showed some heart.
Yeah.
Minus 900 is great value.
It is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Should be minus 9,000.
Yeah, it's just hard to imagine Franco winning a fight. Pinto might be the piping of the week out the gate. Let's go. Yeah, maybe. Can't believe minus 500 on Pinto is considered value. Yeah, minus 500 would be considered value 100%, but that line is no more. I agree. Don't underestimate gym. Gym teachers are tough. You got to be tough. Yelling at kids all day, and those kids, they just piss you off all day. Yeah, you got to be tough to be a gym teacher mentally, physically, emotionally. God. Didn't Mario Pinto start talking in Portuguese and switch to his UK accent in his last fight post-interview? Yeah, he did. He was like, I don't speak any English, and then he started going off in UK accent. Yeah, that did happen. That was him. Jose Medina is booked for his next fight. No, he's not. Didn't he get cut? He got cut.
He has to get cut. But, hopefully it's somewhere like an FFC, and he's going to get some, He's going to get some main events there, and hopefully we can find some wins. I want to watch Jose Medina win a fight. I feel like I'm owed that once before I die, is to get Jose Medina a win somewhere.
Then he's got to go up to heavyweight and take on Felipe Franco.
Oh, that would be great. See, they should have those kind of fights, you know? Like in wrestling back in the day, because like you'd always have like these cheap regional events where you'd get the good fighter against the jobber. But then every once in a while, they'd put two jobbers in there, and you really didn't know who was going to win. So it was entertaining, you know? But a lot of times it was just like, you know, you see somebody named Mike Costello, and he's fighting some dude in a $5,000 robe who takes an 8-minute walkout. It's like, well, looks like Mike Costello is going to get served, you know? And yeah, I kind of feel like that's Felipe Franco this week, and Jose Medina every time he fights, and maybe even Harry Hardwick.
Yeah. Yeah, just one sign up for it. I'm looking forward to the story. What's worse, Food or Franco? Franco. No matter what, it's Franco. Franco's worse
than
anything. Hit the like button. Help these two out. Agreed. You guys have been killing it with the likes lately. Absolutely killing it with the likes. The Mackenzie Dern accent arc feels like it was 10 years ago. Yeah, it does. We really need that Paramount deal in Canada. Yeah. I signed up on, but Underdog doesn't work in my state. Yeah, it's only in 40 out of 50 states. So there's about a
80% chance. Yeah,
80% chance. Which is good. 80% is good. It's a good chance. All right. What else do we got? Oh, he got booked for a local fight. Okay, so he's back, but he's not in the UFC. Okay, makes sense. Paramount plus price A++, Paramount plus streaming quality C+. That's fair. Yeah, I like
just about as good as ESPN though. It's not any worse than ESPN, I wouldn't say.
I like this. 500 likes and Wheezy bets Franco a half unit. I think that's fair. 500 likes.
Yeah, 3 signups. Actually, not 500 likes. 3 Underdog signups, and I'll either bet on Tracali or Franco in one way or another.
Dude, they're actually going to sign up now. They're going to sign up now. God, 3 signups. And Wheezy's taking a shot on Franco. Or I think you're better off taking a shot on Tracali. At least or Tracoli. At least he has
Tracali's got all the grappling upside, Brady. It's a great bet.
Oh, so yeah, you heard him. You heard him. Okay. Moving on to the next fight. It is going to be get over here. It is going to be Melissa No Mess Mullins going against Luana Karolina. We got Melissa No Mess Mullins, 34 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. We got Luana Karolina, 32 years old, 5'6" with a 69-inch reach. Karolina, 2 years younger. No Mess Mullins with a 1-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. We got Melissa No Mess Mullins, who is 3-2 in her last 5 fights. She made her debut against Irina Alexeyeva, won that fight by decision. She got knocked out by Nora Cornhole. She beat Claudia Segulya by knockout, and then she lost to Daria Zelnikova by decision. As far as Luana Karolina, 3-2 in her last 5 fights, lost to Joanne Wood by decision, beat Ivana Petrovic by decision, knocked out Julia Stolyarenko, beat Lucy Pudilova by decision, and then lost a decision to Michelle Montague. So this is the fight IQ test of the week. I mean, Melissa Mullins didn't she get some type of award on our Stat Diggers award show? Like, I forget what it was.
Probably worst fight IQ. It had to be
something like that, because it's like she's fighting Daria Zelnikova, right? And she already beat her, and she TKO'd her in the first round of their first fight. She pounded her head through the canvas, and then it's like in the next fight, you know, she doesn't shoot a takedown till there's like 20 seconds left in the first round, and then she almost finishes her. It's like, oh my gosh, Melissa, you probably should, you know, wrestle a little bit earlier. And in the second round, she doesn't go for a takedown until she gets hurt to the body. And at that point, it's already too late. It's like you had a pretty easy, like borderline free win. All you had to do was fight smart, and you go out there and you expose the ground game of Daria Zelnikova, which is just not good. But she ended up striking with her for far too long and lost that fight as a pretty big favorite. I think she's like minus 250 or something in that fight. So here against Luana Karolina, I mean, Karolina has okay takedown defense, but she's been taken down at least once in her last 8 fights by fighters who can wrestle and fighters who like are strikers. So yeah, if Melissa Mullins wants to come out here and win this fight, she should probably look to grapple. And if she can, she's really good on top. They call her no mess, but that's a lie, because whenever she gets on top of you, there's always a mess. I mean, remember that fight against Alsawadi? It was very bloody. Those elbows, those punches coming down. She left a big mess in the cage that night. And then against Daria Zelnikova's face was a big mess in their first fight. She was bleeding quite a bit in the cage. So they call her no mess, Weezy, but when she gets on top, she most certainly always leaves a mess. But yeah, this is one that I will not be touching. I have officially sworn off betting Melissa Mullins fights, but the path is there. Let's see if she takes it. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, those of you that watch Stat Diggers know what big fans Brady and I are of Melissa Mullins. And yeah, we got served betting on her last time against Shelesniakova, the easiest game plan that you would think would be impossible to fuck up, but she fucked it up. So here we are now, and this is probably even a little bit tougher of a test, but there's a lot of things on the Mullins side that I like here. So I'm gonna read my fight write-up summary that I did for this earlier. And this fight is going to come down to who can control the phases. Melissa Mullins is a dominant grappler with a nasty clinch game who needs to close the distance, clinch up, and make this fight dirty. Luana Karolina is a former flyweight who made the recent move up to bantamweight. She does her best work when she's stuffing takedowns and using her length and defense to win the minutes and bank the rounds at distance striking range. Luana needs a clean range kickboxing match, and Melissa needs a dirty, clinch-heavy affair that will allow her to use her physicality and grappling advantages. And whichever fighter does a better job of controlling where this fight takes place probably gets their hand raised. And the market is pricing this fight as a near pick'em, so they can't really decide which fighter gets it done. On one side, Mullins is bigger, stronger, more physical, and the much better grappler, but she consistently underperforms market expectations due to terrible fight IQ and striking defense. So she has bad short-term recency bias due to dropping the ball as a favorite in 2 of her last 3 fights. Luana Karolina is 2 years younger, has more UFC experience against a better brand of competition. She consistently outperforms market expectations, while Mullins underperforms them, and she's the more likely fighter to win minutes should this fight stay at distance striking range. However, she is at size and physicality disadvantages, and she struggles against strong grapplers like Melissa Mullins. This fight is an IQ test for Mullins, and her fight IQ typically has been very bad. Melissa probably could keep this fight close at distance striking range, but if she closes the distance, clinches up, makes this fight dirty, I don't think Luana is going to have much of a chance to win minutes or bank rounds. The bad short-term recency bias could be a gift because we've never seen Mullins priced this cheap. She's fighting at home in the United Kingdom against a Brazilian, and she has a massive opportunity to win minutes both in the clinch and on the mat in this fight against the former flyweight in Luana Karolina. This is a great bounce-back spot for Melissa Mullins. I'm going to pick her to win this fight by decision. The Mullins money line is risky due to her tendency to pull stunts and underperform market expectations, but at minus 105, I'm willing to take that chance because I think she's the only fighter with a chance to look dominant in this fight. And even if the fight is close, the biased London crowd should help her pull out a close decision. So I'm going with Melissa Mullins by decision, and I made a bet 1.5 units on the Melissa Mullins money line, and I figure it's a no-lose situation, Brady. If the bet cashes, I win almost 1.5 units. Hey. And if she goes out there and fights like an asshole, I'm going to have fun skewering her ass on Stat Diggers on Monday following the fight.
There we go. No lose situation. Hopefully she doesn't go full you-know-what again, like she did in the cornhole fight and her last fight against Zelnikova. But yeah, Karolina minus 120, Melissa Mullins plus 100, the over 2.5 minus 280, the under 2.5 is plus 230. Let's go, Melissa. Let's redeem yourself, buddy. The code is DFS BTN. Let me pull it up. DFS BTN.
$75 in bonus funds and a free story from Uncle Wheezy when you pay $5 with the code DFSBTN. How can you beat that?
You can't beat it. And then half unit shot on Tracali or Franco, that bum.
Yeah, if we get 3 signups.
3 signups, yes.
Yes.
3 signups. We got Zizzy in the building. What is up? Just kidding. I like a good English breakfast and a well-made bangers and mash. What's bangers and mash? Let me look it up.
So it's like an English breakfast thing. So like bangers are like sausage, and I don't know if the mash is like a mashed potato.
It looks like a mashed potatoes.
Yeah. And then the bangers are sausages
with some peas on the side. Okay.
Yep.
I could get down with that.
And shepherd's pie is a good English dish. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, Mullins actually grappled this time out. Somebody should maybe let her know. Let her know that she should. Because when she gets on top, she's nasty. I really like her top game. Where's that dude who is all excited to goon to Lavana Karolina? I don't know. He's probably gooning as we speak. What's her WikiFeet score, Mullins? She doesn't have a WikiFeet. Karolina does, and she has one of the worst scores I've ever seen. It's like 3.67.
There you go, you guys. I'm telling you, this is where it turns around and Mullins gets the bounce back spot. That's all you need to know right there.
I mean, 3.60. They give you a 4 just for signing up onto the site.
Yeah,
you get a 4 just for signing up. They have 3.67. We got a problem. I really like her moniker, No Mess. I like it too, but you know, her fight IQ is a mess. Hot mess. No, Wheezy, don't do it. Hey, Mullins is gonna fight smart, man. Mullins is gonna fight smart.
And if she doesn't, we're going to have fun on Stat Diggers on Monday.
She got a 20 on her IQ test. Holy crap. That's about as low as you can go. Oh, we got a CP not for free in the building. What is up? Sorry I'm late, guys. I had to work off the money I lost expecting Emmett to go to the 3rd round. Yeah, he went 5 with Taporia, but got finished in like half a round in, over the weekend. 69% on Tapology on Mullins Unk. That's never a good sign. Well, 69% know what's up. But I don't know. I will not be touching this fight, but I'll be rooting for my Uncle Wheezy. All right. Wheezy, you're probably going to miss the fight, dude. I mean, this is going to be the first fight of the night, I think.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if I don't make it, I don't make it. It's no big deal. But the last time I overslept a bet was when I had Denzel Freeman against Merrick Bulow, and he cashed.
Oh God, yeah, I woke up for that one. Was not fun. All right, let's move on to the next fight. We got Chanel Dyer going against Ravenna Olivera. We got Chanel Dyer, 24 years old, 5'6" with a 65-inch reach. Olivera, 29 years old, 5'5" with a 65-inch reach. Dyer is 5 years younger, 1 inch height advantage, same reach between the two. Dyer is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. She lost on the Contender Series as a -190 favorite to Carol Forho. And she, I believe, got a contract and a loss. Dana really liked the fight, and it was a really good fight. One of the best fights, female fights on Contender Series last year. As far as Ravenna Olivera, she made her debut against Tainara Lisboa, lost that fight by decision. And then she got submitted by Stephanie Luciano in the fight after that. So it's kind of weird, Weezy. Like, we have Dyer as like a -500 favorite coming off of a loss on the Contender Series where she got dropped 3 times. And that's kind of the problem with Dyer. It's like she's extremely hittable. Some of the worst striking defense you'll see. She doesn't move her head. I think she's pretty chinny as well. She's getting hurt in these fights. She's been knocked out a couple times as an amateur. She got TKO'd by, I think, Shauna Bannon and Ivana Petrovic. So, yeah, the chin, I think, is a big problem. The striking defense is a big problem. But outside of that, I think she's phenomenal. I really like what I see from her. The forward pressure, the volume, the leg kicks. She has really good hands as well. And she has some power for the strawweight division. But it's like she probably is going to get knocked out at some point. Luckily for her, Weezy, she's going against Ravenna Olivera, who I'm just not sure what she's good at. You know, she's supposedly a grappler, but what do you mean you're a grappler? You attempted 0 takedowns against Stephanie Luciano, and then you got submitted in the 3rd round. And that was a shocking performance to me. It's like you didn't even try to take her down, and then you got submitted. It's like, what is she good at? You know, she's not the best striker. She's not the best wrestler. She's not the best grappler. she hasn't won a fight in like 3 or 4 years. It's like I don't know what Ravenna Olivera is doing here. So I actually think this line it could probably be wider, but I mean minus 500 on somebody making their debut, coming off of a loss. It's kind of disgusting. But I would be shocked if Ravenna Olivera ever won a fight in the UFC. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, like the exact same as yours, pretty much. Like, here's what I wrote for I when I when I wrote this fight up for Ravenna Olivera paths to victory. Ravenna isn't high volume on the feet, and her takedown and sub defense are both awful. So I believe her best chance to win this fight is to load up and look to land a bomb at distance striking range or in the clinch, because she hasn't demonstrated the ability to win minutes anywhere yet in the UFC. Do you know that after Olivera fought Tainara Lisboa, I actually thought that Lisboa was a solid grappler?
Oh, God.
You know, because I was like, I kept hearing that this Olivera was a grappler. And then I'm like, oh, Lisboa's a Muay Thai girl, and she went out there and she out-grappled Olivera. She must be pretty good. And I bet on her in the next fight. She got absolutely smoked. You know, and I was so like, I don't know what this girl's good at either. She was fighting up at 135. And on the regional scene, I believe every one of her wins except for one came against somebody with 0 or 1 wins. Like the person who had 1 win was 1-7. And then like the rest of the girls were like 0-0 girls that, you know, and these were in some of the lowest level promotions that I've ever seen. And there are some really low level promotions in Brazil. And the first line of my summary for this fight write-up was, I remember thinking when I was researching Ravenna Olivera's UFC debut against Tainara Lisboa, why in the hell did the UFC sign this nobody? She's terrible. Like her ground game is laughable. If you're getting taken down and rinsed on the mat by a kickboxer in Stephanie Luciano, if you're getting taken down and rinsed on the mat by Tainara Lisboa, who is a Muay Thai striker, then where is she going to win minutes? Because Dyer is going to pick her apart at range. So I just think that this is Chanel Dyer kind of however she wants it. And like, I'm waiting to see where the domestics open up submission for Dyer, because even though she has 0 pro wins by sub and she's not a grappler at all, I think she could probably sub Ravenna Olivera. Her ground game is that bad. So yeah, it's really hard to get to a Ravenna Olivera bet, especially considering that even if she like has her best fight, Brady, and this winds up playing out 50-50, it's in the United Kingdom and she's from Brazil. They're going to give it to Dyer probably. So yeah, I think it's Chanel, probably by decision, but she could finish this girl for sure.
Yeah, I think it's probably Chanel by decision too. The inside the distance I thought would be a lot juicier for a strawweight fight. It's plus 240. But yeah, Dyer should get it done. And I like want to parlay her, but she's like approaching the like unparlayable range. She's probably gonna be minus 500 or minus 600 soon. So I don't know.
You and I, Brady, we would never tell somebody parlay a female debutante at minus 450 coming off a loss,
who's chinny and can't defend strikes.
Yeah. And we would never do that. And I'm sitting there. I was actually like trying to parlay her earlier today after watching the tape on Ravenna Olivera.
I know.
Awful. She's just awful.
I was trying to cook something up too, but I don't know. The line is getting wide and it probably gets wider.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get like a better number in like the inside the distance on different books, but fights don't finish anymore. So
yeah,
and it's a strawweight
not
fight.
In London.
No, and it's a strawweight fight. So I would need a pretty big number for him. Dyer going to put a pace on Olivera. Yeah, just going to beat the crap out of her.
I'm going to put a beating on her.
Yeah, I was looking at like the Dyer minus 3.5, which is like minus 200. I think that probably hits. Carol Foro hits like a man. Dyer has heart. Yep, Foro does hit pretty hard. Olivera has the BMF. How could you not bet them? Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's a disgrace. Her last name's Olivera. She's just very bad. We got Bunk Hoots in the building. What is up? Could Olivera by KO be worth a dart throw? Like I said, I think Dyer is going to get knocked out eventually, but And Olivera does have a ton of knockout wins, but against like bottom of the barrel. Olivera by KO is plus 1,400. I mean, I think that's probably how she wins, to be like a fluke knockout type thing. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be Shamrock going against Abdul Karim Alsawadi. We got Shamrock, 32 years old, 5'11" with a 73-inch reach. Abdul Karim Alsawadi, 30 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. Alsawadi, 2 years younger. Shamrock with a 3-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. We got Shamrock, who is 4-1 in his last 5 fights, had a really tough debut against Narili Aliev. Was a pretty big dog and lost, I think, 30-27 times 3 in that fight. As far as Abdul Karim Alsawadi, is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Had a win on the Contender Series a long time ago at this point. Against George Hardwick, won that fight by decision as a massive underdog, and then lost to Loik Rajabov in his debut. So yeah, this is like borderline 1-800 gambler. It looks like Shamrock is the dog of the week. I've seen like probably like 10 people post on Twitter or X that they're on Shamrock, which is never a good sign. But at the same time, he's going against Abdul Karim Alsawadi, who's coming off of multiple injuries, who's coming off of a really bad spine injury, who's coming off of pulling out of multiple fights, who has not fought in 2 years. So I get it. And Shamrock's one of these guys that has a personality. I think a lot of people like the guy, but this has just greasy written all over. It's the fight I'm least likely to put my money on this week. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I slightly lean Shamrock because of all the red flags on Abdul Karim Alsawadi, and at least Shamrock is a guy that he's not amazing, but at least he'll go for it. Good ground game, down to scrap. But this is pretty brutal, dude. I think a pick'em's probably about accurate with these two. I don't know what to do with this one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like a 2-year layoff for Alsawadi. And if you go to his Tapology profile, you'll find that there were 3 scheduled fights, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and like 2 of them were his fault, and the other one, both people pulled out on him. So Alsawadi's last win came the last win came against George Hardwick on Contender Series, August 15th, 2023. He made his UFC debut against Loik Rajabov March 2nd, 2024. He was supposed to fight Guram Kutataladze in August of that year. He had to pull out with an injury. Then he was supposed to fight Jordan Levitt in February of 2025. Levitt withdrew. Then Balaji Oki stepped in on short notice, and then Oki withdrew, which left him without a fight. Then he's supposed to fight Mateus Camilo in October of 2025. That fight gets canceled because Alsawadi withdrew. So he's on a 2-year layoff. He's had to pull out of 2 different fights, and then he had both opponents pull out of a fight against him. And now he's going to the UK to fight against somebody from the UK. So it's a tricky spot to back Alsawadi, but in my opinion, he's the much better fighter. He's the much better striker. He's got phenomenal conditioning. He's got excellent defense, and he's got the ability to win minutes and moments with his offensive and defensive wrestling. So I think that this is going to either be an Alsawadi decision or it's going to be a Shamrock finish, because Alsawadi's been KO'd in all 4 of his professional losses, and the guy is clearly willing to mix in the wrestling when he feels like his opponent has power. So because Shamrock is not like known for being a powerful striker, I kind of feel like Alsawadi is just going to be able to set the pace of this fight, find takedowns when he wants them, and be the guy throwing more volume and landing more volume while the fight's on the feet. And I don't think he's going to get tired, but that's all assuming that this guy is ready to fight like we remember him fighting even in the Rajabov fight. And Rajabov just kind of caught him near the end of that fight with a big shot. But Shamrock doesn't have that kind of power, and he doesn't have the kind of wrestling that Rajabov has. So as long as Alsawadi is healthy and ready to go, and that's a big if, but if that's the case, I think Alsawadi decision at plus 155 is a great play. And I think his money line is like almost free money if he's ready to go here, because he's a much better fighter than Shamrock. But and I'd want to know what the decision only prop is going to be for Alsawadi. He's a much better minute winner. But the problem that you need to worry about with him is he going to get knocked out? So I think finish only for Shamrock is something that I'm probably going to play this week, and maybe a decision only for Alsawadi.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, Shamrock's not knocking him out. That'd be crazy, no? I get that he's shinny, but Shamrock can't knock him out with like
he's gotten a couple of knockouts, and I know one of them was and he's even one of his submissions was as a result of him dropping somebody, I think, with a liver kick or something like that.
He has solid kicks.
He's got decent kicks, so maybe he can catch him with something. But yeah, it's not really his game to go out there starching dudes.
No,
you know, like not like you would worry about with somebody like Rajabov that's like this wrestle boxer that throws with like crazy power, you know. So yeah, I kind of like Alsawadi here, but I don't really want to back him with my money because after a 2-year layoff, spinal surgery, 3 different fights that got canceled, you know, I don't know what to expect from him here.
Yeah, I don't know. What I do know is he probably wins, dude. 73% of people are on Shamrock on Tapology.
Yeah, so maybe this time I'll get on the Tapology person that's not being favored to win a close fight.
Yeah, this is disgusting. I don't want to put money on either one of these fools. So best of luck, whoever it does. And it looks like a lot of people are betting on this fight. So I don't know. Best of luck. We got Sacha in the building. Hello, fellas. Just joined. Would just like to apologize to everyone who had bet Elijah Smith by KO. Yeah,
that was me.
Brutal. And I almost bet it. I was looking at it all Saturday. Had my finger over the trigger all Saturday. I was like, wow, this plus 400.
Yeah,
really. I didn't bet it, but geez, I mean, yeah, brutal. Shamrock is the worst fighter on the card. That's saying a lot. Antonio Tracali is on the card. That's damn.
So is Felipe Franco.
Franco is the worst fighter on the card. There's no way. Felipe Franco is the number 1 worst fighter on the card. Number 2 worst is Tracali. He's not even a fighter. He's a poker player. And then we can put Rock at number 3, right? I mean, no, we got to put Ravenna Olivera at number 3. Shamrock is the 4th worst fighter on the card. Come on, man. Come on. There's no way he's the worst. There's a lot worse. Let's see. Did Dumas get arrested again?
Oh, no. Please tell me no.
Who knows? 150 likes. Weezy has to put a 2-unit bet on Tracali by decision. Oh, God. No.
I like him to win the minutes here. You know, he's got great grappling, Brady.
Oh, Shem is front loading. He only subs Eurotrash grapplers.
Yeah.
Weezy's getting greasy this week. It's gonna be greasy. It's gonna be a little greasy. Arrest Kerry Hatley.
Mullins bet, you know I'm getting greasy.
Let's go. Arrest Kerry Hatley. Yeah. Has he been arrested yet? I don't think so.
Still out there
reffing fights. I got Felipe Franco in a fight versus Shamrock. I think it'd be a good fight. They're like 20 weight classes apart, but that'd be a good fight. That'd be a good scrap. Felipe Franco's used to fighting smaller guys. He fought like a 4'6" guy, I kid you not, in a shopping mall. So I don't know. Pipe up that like button, signs underdog. Yes, use that code DFSBTN. Sawadi much better minute winner, but Shem is a dog out there and with the hometown crowd. He is a dog. I'll give you that for sure. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be, oh boy, Montes, Condra de Vicious going against Antonio Tracali. Speaking of Tracali here, we got Montes, who's 26 years old, 6'2" with a 75-inch reach. Tracali, 35 years old, 6'5" with an 80-inch reach. Montes is 9 years younger, and it's going to be Tracali with a 3-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. Montes is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He had a Contender Series win against Barbier in a very fun fight that didn't last too long. And then as far as Tracali, he has 1, 3, and 1 no contest in his last 5 fights. Had that no contest against Kenneth Burr, where he popped for all the steroids back in 2019. Got a win after that, got signed to the UFC for some reason and fought Shar Magomedov, lost by 3rd round knockout, got submitted by Trayshawn Gore in the 1st round, and got submitted by Mansour Abdulmalik in the 1st round. So, yeah, this is borderline not even a real fight, Weezy. We got Montes Condra de Vicious, who's actually pretty solid. This guy has a solid striking background. he hits like a truck. I was going and watching some of his fights today, and it's like he's not only knocking guys out, he's like killing them. Like these guys are dying in the cage. They're not waking up for minutes. They have to bring in the smelling salts. They have to bring in the stretcher. They're leaving in wheelchairs, Wheezy. I mean, this guy has a ton of power, and he's going against a guy in Tracali who's just not a fighter. He's a poker player. He's a full-time poker player, part-time fighter. This guy has one win in like the last 7 or 8 years. It's insane. So I don't know what they're doing here. I thought for sure he'd get cut after losing to Mansour Abdulmalik by first-round submission. He's gotten guillotine in back-to-back fights. He's literally a BJJ, like that's his base. That's where he comes from, BJJ, and he's gotten guillotined in back-to-back fights. It's like if you're getting guillotined in back-to-back fights, what are you even good at this point, Antonio? So yeah, should be Montes brutally. I think Tracali might wind up going out Harry Hardwick style on a wheelchair with how hard Montes is about to hit him. This guy Montes doesn't fuck around, dude. He seriously doesn't.
Yeah, and I mean, if Tracali does show up for this fight, and I think that's a big if, Brady, I do think he's going to get knocked down by something that just grazes him. Yeah. I think he's actually going to take a dive,
He should.
So right now, the money line on this fight is Mantis minus 700, which is an 87.5% implied probability. And at plus 525, the betting markets are giving Antonio Tracali a 16% chance to win this fight, right? I think that there's even less than a 16% chance that Tracali gives a shit about even trying to win this fight.
Yeah.
And even if he was trying, I'd still give him only a 16% chance to win this fight. So, like, this is, if I were him, I would take a dive. I would, because you're going to lose anyway. But if you try to make it look good, you might wake up in the hospital like hours later, because this is not a dude you want to play around with. They call this guy Drago. And I mean, have you ever seen Rocky IV?
Probably a long time ago.
Yeah, like it was whenever it came out, you were probably like a baby or something. It came out a long time ago, but it was Rocky went to Russia to fight this guy, this Russian fighter. It was played by Dolph Lundgren, and he was a terrifying guy in the movies. Like the scary Russian at the time that we had this Cold War going on with them back in the day. So it was this big blockbuster hit, but the guy's name was Ivan Drago, and that's the name that Volkov used for a while. He was calling himself Drago, and this guy calls himself Drago, and he reminds me. He looks like Dolph Lundgren did in Rocky IV. He has that terrifying aura about him, and like there's one fight that he has. It was against. I think it's the first fight that you can watch of his. Like if you have the tape index, it's like his third professional fight. It was against a guy named Jack Comby. Dude, you got to watch that fight. That fight was awesome. That dude, Jack Comby, was an absolute maniac. He never stopped coming forward. He was trying to kill Mantis. They were going back and forth in the clinch. They were swinging from the fences. Like Mantis was getting caught a couple of times, but when you watch that Comby fight, you realize that this guy Mantis is not just somebody that goes out there and ices you early. Like if the fight got dirty and he had to go into the second and third rounds, I think he'd be fine, Brady. This guy's scrappy, he's tough, and he's got like death touch power. And I was surprised he was only 6'2". Like he's listed at 6'2". With a 75-inch reach. And I think he's going to look bigger than Tracali, who's listed at 6'5". We'll see. We'll see if I'm right about that. But I mean, I think he's going to murder this dude. I'm pretty sure that Condra Tavicius is Lithuanian for vicious murderer. Like the vicious right there at the end. And then the Condra. But like they use it, but like in Spanish, sometimes the words are kind of flipped how they would be in English. So Poor Antonio Tracali. You know, this is not this fight isn't going to get to the river, and he's not going to be able to pull something out of his ass on the river. This is before they even drop those 3 cards. This guy's going to be iced on the canvas.
Yeah, agreed.
Holding a 2-7 while Montes throws down his aces on Antonio Tracali's lifeless corpse.
Oh God. Yeah. Does Montes like steak? Because right now his inside the distance prop is minus 475.
Woo!
475 for his inside the distance prop. Crazy, man. In London, a minus 500 ITD prop in London. Really?
Yeah, there's a couple of them, right? Because we already talked about Pinto. I think is minus 450.
Yeah. Yeah, the fight doesn't go minus 1,000. Crazy, man. But yeah, Montes should absolutely destroy Tracali. But I'm like, he should knock him out. But Tracali could maybe cash another sub. Tracali's been cashing sub 1 tickets like it's his job. I mean, Mansur sub 1, Gore sub 1. Those have had been paying very good because, you know, Mansur's, I think that was his very first sub ever.
Controversious has a couple of submissions, dude. He's probably going to try to. Maybe that's what he'll do. Maybe that's his trick. He's going to stick his head in a guillotine, tap out.
Yeah, he might
go up partying.
Yep. So I'd be careful laying minus. I think the KO prop's like minus 200 because this guy Tracali's been tapping out, cashing those sub 1 props and leaving with a bag of cash.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you know what? This guy might suck at MMA, Brady, but he's a playboy. He's out there winning money in poker tournaments, and I guarantee you this dude's out there crushing ass on the weekends.
He was dating Mackenzie Dern at one point.
Yeah, he was. So, you know, it's just, you know, you can be really good at certain things in life and really bad at other things, you know?
You got that right. 1 win in like 6 years or 7 years is crazy.
Crazy.
Montes is a killer. Yeah, he is. He certainly is. UFC needs a bunch of stumble bums like this so they're shit-tier Dana White's Contender Series fighters can get wins in the UFC. Yeah, they're trying to build them up. We've had a lot of matchups like this year, Weezy, like Contra de Vicious, Tracali. We've had a ton of these, but a lot of them have actually went to decision. They're like messing around in there this year.
Gaultier versus Pulayev is one that comes to mind.
A ton come to mind. But this guy, Contra de Vicious, he doesn't strike me as somebody that's going to mess around or that likes steak, so he should destroy Tracali, I think. Does this show get uploaded to Spotify? No, I mean, I could eventually, but maybe we'll see. If there's enough interest, I would definitely do it. Tracali is about to enter the Shadow Realms on Saturday, and by Sunday he'll be eating at his favorite steakhouse with all his friends and family that bet on him to lose by first round KO. Again, we got to be careful. He's been cashing those sub props, man. He might tap to strikes. I don't know. You never know with Antonio Tracali. Montes' Neanderthal genetics like Vosgreen guy from Germany.
Have you seen that Vosgreen guy?
You looked him up.
Yeah, dude, you got this guy. He's got this long hair.
Oh,
he's built like a refrigerator, man. And he's just running through these dudes. He's a wild man. He fights like an absolute wild man. Super fun guy to watch fight.
Yeah, I've seen a ton of clips of him on X.
Yeah.
Is he the guy that's also getting paid child support by Mackenzie Dern? I don't know if that's him, to be honest. How much money did Tracali make from poker? I don't know, but I found a picture of him holding like thousands of dollars from a poker tournament, like a big giant stack of cash. I don't know if it was from the poker tournament though, or cashing a Mansur sub 1 at plus 1,000. I don't know. Please do it. Watching it later in YouTube just bombards you with ads. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I find Tracali to be intimidating. I would not cross him. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think UFC light heavyweights and middleweights find him intimidating, but the rest of us would.
Yeah, especially at the poker table. This guy.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, let us move on to the next fight. It is going to be Brando Paric going against Louis Sutherland. We got Paric, 31 years old, 6'5". Louis Sutherland, 32 years old, 6'3". Paric 1 year younger, 2-inch height advantage. Sutherland is 4-1 in his last 5 fights, made his debut against Walter Walker, got heel hooked in the very first round. As far as Paric, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, made his debut against Elijah Ellison, and won that fight by first round TKO. So, yeah, for me, I'm going Paric here. I just think he's the more skilled fighter. I'm not sure what Sutherland's good at, to be honest. I've watched a lot of his fights, but it's like I don't know what he's good at. Like, he has okay cardio for the heavyweight division. He's a very big and thick and strong dude, but I don't like his striking. I don't like his wrestling. I don't like his grappling. I don't really like anything about Louis Sutherland. I mean, he's a tough dude. He's tough. He's a tough dude, but that's about it. Whereas Paric, he actually has some solid skills. I think he's training at City Kickboxing. Solid striker, can mix in some takedowns, has good ground and pound. We saw that in his debut. So I think the guy with the higher ceiling is 110% Paric here. But these heavyweight fights this year have been just dreadful. Just absolutely, every single one of them. They've been absolutely horrible. Each and every time I see these guys fight, I'm like, we got to abolish the heavyweight division. It's been that bad. So I can see this turning into a sloppy, greasy, disgusting heavyweight fight where both guys get tired. And that's a lot of Sutherland fights right there. They get sloppy and greasy and they're in the clinch and they go to decision. He's been a decision a ton of times. I can kind of see that, but the better fighter here is Paric to me. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out a little bit more this time around about Sutherland because, he got a weird matchup the first time, with Walker, a leg lock specialist, and he just went out there and ran through him, got a leg lock. And what do you want from him? Now going on, maybe we'll find out a little bit more about him. But this guy, Perisic, is one of the people that I think is actually legit that's coming into this division because the UFC heavyweight division, like, you can get signed off of 4 wins over cab drivers in an Eastern Bloc country.
I mean, Tai Tuivasa is a ranked fighter still.
Yeah, he's still a ranked fighter. Yeah. And I mean, like, you see some of these guys that are getting signed, with no regional scene resumes. It just goes to show you that it doesn't take much to get a UFC contract in this division. But Perisic is the kind of guy that looks like he could have a number next to his name in very short order with his kickboxing skill set. He's 6'5" with a 79-inch reach. His grappling game is serviceable, but he's got some real power in his strikes. So, yeah, I mean, I think that Perisic is just better. I mean, can Sutherland maybe get some takedowns and win some minutes? I suppose maybe, but I remember watching a bunch of Sutherland tape before he was – because he was supposed to fight somebody else. The fight got called off, and then he wound up taking a short notice fight against Walker like halfway across the world, if I'm not mistaken. So I still think we need to find out, what he's going to look like in a normal situation at the UFC level. But I like Perisic here too. I think he's going to win this fight.
Yep. Yeah, I think he wins it too. We have Perisic opened up he opened up plus 160.
Oh my God.
For some reason, I don't know if there's a new intern that day, or there's a typo. But yeah, Perisic opened up plus 160. He's currently minus 270, which makes more sense. Sutherland opened up minus 185, currently plus 230. The over under set at 1.5 rounds. The over 1.5 plus 120. The under 1.5 minus 140. I actually don't hate the over just because a couple reasons. For one, finishes don't happen anymore. And for two, Sutherland, like, the one thing that he's okay at is his durability. Never been knocked out, can take a shot, has a good chin. And I could see this being like a greasy type fight. So, but yeah, probably not touching this one. I like Perisic though. This fight should end by KO, so it probably goes to decision. It could. We've seen a ton of heavyweight fights outside of the Hokut fight. Throw that Hokut fight out. I think every single heavyweight fight since then went to decision, Weezy. I kid you not. I can't think of a heavyweight fight that's finished recently. Wait, no, I don't think so.
I can't think of any either.
This fight's greasier than Johnny. Oh, come on. Johnny's a nice guy. The Balkan Bear is not losing. I don't think he is either. Tai Tuivasa versus Felipe Franco to finally snap the skid. Give me Tuivasa there. Hesitantly. Give me Tuivasa. But no, Dan, they matched up Tai Tuivasa versus Sean Sheriff in Perth, Australia. Dude, if Tuivasa can't beat Sean Sheriff,
he better not blow that one.
How do you blow? Give me a playable number on Tuivasa. There, I'm putting the house on it. Watch him be like minus 1,000. But yeah, he should beat Tuivasa, and then he should beat Sheriff. And then they also gave Junior Tafa Kevin Christian.
Yeah.
Christian.
Yeah, they love those Tafa brothers. I cannot believe they're still letting a Tafa brother into the octagon in the UFC in 2026.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, I think Junior Tafa gets a win, and I think Tuivasa gets a win. I think, I mean, I'd hope so. I mean, I'd hope they can beat Kevin Christian and Sean Sheriff. And I also think Jacob Malkoon gets a win against Gerald Mearshart. I mean, oh my gosh, they're really trying to build these guys up in Perth. Just a shot. Oh God. You know what? Fly out to Australia, Deep Insider, and head up to Paric and tell him he's a chump to his face. I don't think you're going to like the results. I mean, look what happened to poor Elijah Ellison. He went for a heel hook and got his head pounded through the canvas. Oh, geez. Kevin Christian will get a sub off his back. Hilarious. He does go for subs off his back.
He does, yeah.
He does do that. He certainly does do that. Oh, gosh. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be, in my opinion, Weezy, I think this is like maybe the second or maybe even the first best fight of the night. It's on the freaking prelims. It's Nathaniel Wood. He's going against Hussein Keta. He's going. Wood's 32 years old, 5'6" with a 69-inch reach. Keta, 28 years old, 5'8" with a 72-inch reach. Keta is 4 years younger. He's going to have a 2-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. Nathaniel Wood 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Won against Andre Fili by decision. Lost to Muhammad Naimov by decision. Beat Daniel Pineda by decision. Beat Morgan Charrier by decision. And then beat Jose Delgado by decision his last fight out. As far as Keta, he's going to be making his debut. He was supposed to be making his debut against Pitbull. He missed weight by a couple pounds, and Pitbull didn't accept the fight. But yeah, this is a phenomenal fight. I mean, honestly, like Wood is in some fun fights each and every time. I mean, the Delgado fight was absolute madness. That Fili fight was absolute madness. The Naimov fight was a very fun fight. Even the Charrier fight was an extremely fun fight. Like Wood's in some scraps, man. And the one knock on Wood, or the two knocks on Wood, is like, this guy used to be a bantamweight, and he's going to be a small featherweight, but he's had a lot of success. He's only had one loss against Naimov, and Naimov cheated multiple times in that fight. So maybe the size won't be an issue. And then the other issue I have is the chin. He's getting knocked down in like the majority of his fights, but he's not getting knocked out. I mean, the recoverability on Wood is insane. And Weezy, the Smash Your TV play of the week is going to be the under 2.5 rounds. I have been burnt on Wood violence props so many times, and they're all good bets because both guys get dropped. I kid you not. Both guys get dropped in multiple times. We saw Fili get dropped. We saw Fili drop Wood. We saw Jose Delgado get dropped. We saw Delgado drop Wood. We even saw Naimov get hurt in that fight. We saw Naimov hurt Wood. We saw Wood hurt Pineda multiple times and not finish him. It's like, what's going on? These Nathaniel Wood fights just keep going the distance, and they're absolute wars where both guys are getting hurt and both guys are getting dropped. So I will not be betting violence this time, and this is probably the time it finishes. But Nathaniel Wood hasn't finished a fight or been finished since 2020. I think it's been like 8 or 9 fights, 8 or 9 decisions in a row for Nathaniel Wood. So I kind of think that's what's going to happen. I kind of think if both guys are going to get dropped, I think it's going to be a war. I think it's going to be a scrap. But we have the newcomer, Hussein Keta, -220, and Nathaniel Wood at +185. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight and a potential fight of the night?
Yeah, I don't really get the love for Keta. I got to watch more tape, but he's very low output, doesn't really grapple offensively much. And he doesn't even, like, he looks fast sometimes, but because he always loads up, when he loads up, he looks slow to me. So I don't think he's going to win this fight. I think that Nathaniel Wood obviously has a massive strength to schedule advantage over this Keta guy. Now, Keta's 4.5 years younger. You like that. He's taller. He's longer. And he's essentially undefeated as a professional. The guy's 16-1 as a pro. The only fight that he lost was due to a foot injury. So the guy is a legitimate, fighter who's just going out there and just winning fights. And he gets knockouts. He wins decisions as well. He's 6-0 to the decision in addition to being 10-1 to the KO. And that only loss by KO, like I said, was due to injury. So obviously Keita's a very good prospect at only 28 years of age, but he doesn't look like the biggest featherweight to me. He's extremely low volume, like I said. And I think he kind of relies on big moments. And Nathaniel Wood has been in there, like you look at his last 5 fights. Delgado can absolutely win moments. Morgan Charrier can absolutely win moments. Daniel Pineda has a 100% finish rate in his wins. Muhammad Naimov has got a ton of power for the division. Andre Fili is a very powerful striker. We saw him almost get Delgado out of there in round 1 on Saturday. So I don't think this guy, Losine Keta, is bringing anything that he hasn't seen already in terms of finishing ability and explosiveness that Nathaniel Wood's seeing from guys that are better fighters with better resumes than this guy Losine Keta has. So Nathaniel Wood, a 25% ROI. He's 10-3 in the UFC. And when the market prices this guy as an underdog, Brady, he's 4-1 with a 67% ROI. It's right there on the screen if you scroll down just a little bit. So, I think that Nathaniel Wood might be a dog that I'm playing, but I need to finish watching the tape on this fight. But from what I'm seeing on paper, with Nathaniel being the far more experienced fighter, the far more tested fighter, somebody that outperforms market expectations when he's priced as an underdog, and you look at the last 5 opponents, Delgado, Charrier, Pineda, Naimov, Fili. And then you look at Keta's last 5 opponents, Paradiser, Legursky, Bogdanovich, Sardari, Samsonidze. And these big favorites, why would Losine Keta be a minus 250 favorite against Ronald Paradiser and then be minus 200 versus Nathaniel Wood after the guy wasn't even professional enough to make weight in his UFC debut?
I don't know.
So I think Nathaniel Wood's going to be the play here. He's a very good boxer. He mixes in wrestling in order to win minutes, and he's just been fighting at a much higher level, and he might have arguably even won that Muhammad Naimov fight.
Yeah, especially if they would take a point or two for him. Naimov cheated like 50 times. He was grabbing the gloves. He was grabbing the shorts. I mean, he grabbed the cage.
Grabbed nut shots. I mean, he did. He literally ran the gambit. He grabbed the glove. He grabbed the shorts. He poked him in the eye, and he kicked him in the nuts in that fight.
Did it all. He did it all.
And I think, didn't he poke him twice or kick him in the sack twice?
I lost track of it. I
bet Naimov in that fight, and when he had the fingers in the glove with like 10 seconds left in the fight, I'm like, no, don't take a point, because he was holding on to that split actually wound up being a unanimous decision, but oh my God, yeah. So yeah, I think Nathaniel Wood, man, plus 180. He's the same damn price he was versus somebody named Paradiser in Octagon. Now, I know Paradiser's he's a pretty good fighter, He's not UFC level.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, man. If Wood's chin holds up and if he doesn't get knocked out, then sure, 100%. Plus 185 is kind of silly. I mean, minute for minute, like, who do you think is going to be the minute winner in this fight? It's got to be Wood. Wood's an incredible minute winner.
I mean, he's 9-2 to the decision as a pro. He's 7-2 to the decision in the UFC. So, I mean, like this guy, and he's 10-3 in the UFC. I mean, what more do you have to do to get respect from the markets?
I don't know. So, I guess there's some hype on Keta, and this Keta guy does hit pretty hard. And like I said, Wood gets dropped in like every fight. So,
yeah.
Money's pouring in on the under. Oh, God, I'm going to let you guys do that. I've been, like I said, burnt. I mean, Nathaniel Wood couldn't finish Daniel Pineda. He couldn't.
He had him in so much trouble in so many places in that fight. Like he just didn't quite get him out of there.
I know. It's like I had the fight ends by KO and Delgado Wood. They combine for like 200 strikes in the first round. Both guys get dropped, and it goes 15 minutes. It's like I think Nathaniel Wood fights are cursed to go to decision. So, but yeah, the under's getting smashed. Went from plus 145 to plus 110. But yeah, for me, it's definitely dog or pass. But the chin of Wood is kind of the one thing that scares the crap out of me. Talk about knock on wood. Yeah, you got that right. This is where the real fights began, was basically spacing out until now. Yeah, this is a real fight. This is one of the best fights on the card. I love Nathaniel Wood because he's a genuine human being. That being said, he's literally too empathetic to finish anyone He's literally admitted to how empathetic he is. I mean, he hasn't knocked anybody out ever in the UFC. I don't know when the last time he's ever knocked anybody out is. Nathaniel Wood plus 3.5. I think I saw that at minus 110. Wood is a dog here, dog or pass. Wood is going to give him to Wood. Oh, gosh. Gosh. Wood will probably be the most popular dog in DFS. Yeah, it looks like Nathaniel Wood. He is very cheap. $7,500 on DraftKings. There we go. Why not? Wheezy Preacher right now. Yes, sir. The Grand Slam of fouls. Yes. He hit the cycle. I mean, he's such a big cheater, man. I mean, Muhammad Naimov was one of the biggest cheaters in the UFC.
Be right back, Brady. Quick bathroom break for me.
All right, bet. Chalk has been coming through a lot lately. The dogs will start barking soon. Yeah, they will eventually. Keta is ultra low volume and solely uses his hands. Yep. But, man, he has a lot of power in those hands, so we'll see. All right, guys, we'll keep moving on to the next fight. It is going to be, I don't want to skip it. It's there it is. Mason Jones going against Asell Sola. We got Mason Jones, 30 years old, 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. We got Asell Sola, 28 years old, 5'11" with a 75-inch reach. We got Mason Jones, who's going to be 2 years older. He's going to have a 1-inch height disadvantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Mason Jones is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. We had that stint in the UFC, didn't go that well. I don't know if he got cut. I think he said that he left willingly to go get some more work or something. But anyway, he left the UFC, went out and got 3 or 4 wins in a row, and then came back against Jeremy Stephens as a massive favorite and won that fight by decision. And then he knocked out Balaji Oki in a phenomenal fight after that. As far as Asell Sola, he is 4-0-1 draw in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Reese McKee, and he won that fight by knockout. So, yeah, Mason Jones is another one of these guys I think just has horrible fight IQ. And I like Mason Jones. He's one of these tough guys. This is the definition of a freaking dog. He's as tough as nails. And he has solid tools. He's a BJJ black belt. He's a judo black belt. He can get the fight down to the ground. He's solid on top. He's dangerous wherever the fight goes. His striking's pretty solid. He is a walking punching bag for sure. He can be hit. He can't absorb a ton of strikes, but this guy is super tough and you can't put him out. I'm not sure how to feel about Asell Sola. I'm watching some of these fights and it's the cardio doesn't look that great to me. He looked okay against Reese McKee and he knocked him out, but that's Reese McKee. It's not that impressive, but his striking's decent. And I think on the feet, he could absolutely touch Mason Jones, who again has no striking defense. I don't know what to do with this one, Wheezy. Mason Jones, another one of these guys that I just you bet on Mason Jones, you're yelling at the TV. Come on, Mason. Come on. Use that judo black belt. Use that BJJ black belt. What are you doing? Why are you striking with Jeremy Stephens? What are you doing, Mason? I don't know. Closely lined fight. A lot of money is coming on Asell Sola. Looks like this line might be approaching a pick'em. What are your thoughts on this one? I had a tough time at picking between these two guys.
Yeah, this is one I need to look into more. It's one of the ones I'm saving for last, but I know that there's no way that this isn't going to be an awesome fight because it's a Mason Jones fight. I love the way this guy fights, man. Crazy volume. He just goes out there and spams volume in every area of MMA. At distance striking range, Mason Jones attempts 19.93 distance strikes per minute, which is 70% more than the divisional average of 11.72. He lands 7.24 distance strikes per minute. That's 52% higher than the divisional average of 4.77. This guy attempts 7.55 takedowns per 15 minutes, which is 82% greater than the divisional average. And he gets 4.17 of those takedown attempts, which is 55% accuracy and over 175% greater than the divisional average. So Mason Jones is just constant offense in all phases of the fight. Even in the clinch and the ground situations where he's striking in control time positions, he lands 3.81 and absorbs 1.71. So he's got a positive 2.1 clinch and ground strike differential. He's got a positive 0.53 distance striking differential. He's got a positive 3.57 takedown differential. He's attempted a submission, has had 0 attempted against him, and he's extremely durable. So really the only chance that you have is to get this guy out of there, which is very difficult to do. I don't think that Mason Jones has ever been finished. He's never been finished as a professional in 20 pro fights. So, you really just kind of have to be able to take this guy down and hold him down. That's where you can actually find some minutes against him. And he's a judo guy, so he's going to have strong hips. But if you can out wrestle judo guys don't know how to wrestle the legs. So we've seen Mason, win 34% of the control time positions and only allow 11%. But if you can take him down, you can hold him down and win some minutes there. And because he's got bad distance striking defense, he's also susceptible to losing big moments on the feet by absorbing big strikes. So this is going to be a hell of a fight. And I was really impressed with Asell Sola in his UFC debut, but they're moving back down to 150 for this fight. This isn't at 170, is it?
I don't know. I can check. I think it's at lightweight.
Yeah, it should be at lightweight, and I'm pretty sure that was the Reese McKee fight. That was at welterweight, right?
I can check here.
I'm going to look at it right now, actually.
This fight is at lightweight.
Yeah, so he made his debut at welterweight, which is one reason why I actually backed McKee there. I thought the size would be an issue for Asell Sola, but it wasn't. He really had a good performance. So I'm a bit of a believer in this Sola guy. I think he's a pretty good fighter. He was fighting in Aries FC. He's the champion there. But we've seen him actually have struggle with grapplers before when he fought Dagir Imavov. And, he does at 155, I think he'll be better suited size-wise to deal with these guys. But Mason Jones's constant offense and durability, I think, is going to be a little bit too much for Asell, and I think he's probably going to win a decision here.
Oh, I think it's going to be a phenomenal fight. Is this the featured prelim? Let's take a look. Yeah, this is the featured prelim. I think the Wood fight is going to be a fun fight. Yeah. And then I think the Jones Sola fight is going to be extremely fun, but I'm just not sure if it's a fight I really want to bet on. But yeah, Mason Jones is the slight favorite as of now. Open at -250, currently -122. Asell Sola open at +210, currently +102. So a lot of money has came in on Asell Sola thus far. Not sold on Sola at all. Yeah, me neither. This is gonna be a good test for him. I personally think Reese McKee just stinks. So if he can go out there and do that to Mason Jones, that'll be a huge feather in his cap because Mason Jones is next level tough. This is my exact take on Mason too. Love the guy, love his fights, but he fights like a drunk.
He does.
Sola 10-8 by Imavov's brother. Jones showed crazy hard against Oki. Yeah, he did. I mean, he ate some bombs against Balaji Oki. We got Glenn Bott in the building. What is up, Glenn Bott? Sup, gentlemen? Thanks for sending all spring break American kids over to me for Patty's Day. Haha. I feel like an angry school teacher after today in the bar. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, well, he's Irish and a bartender in Ireland. So I would imagine it's a tough day right now. It's St. Patty's Day in Ireland right now.
Oh,
man. And it actually just turned St. Patty's Day by you, and it's about an hour away from me.
Yeah. Crazy. Back-to-back bangers. Agreed. All right. Let's move on to the main card opener. It's going to be Curtis Campbell. They call him the Pink Panther. Going against Danny Silva. We got Curtis Campbell, 23 years old, 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. Danny Silva, 29 years old, 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. Campbell's going to be 6 years younger. Silva's going to have a 2-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach disadvantage. Curtis Campbell, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He got a knockout win against Demba Sack on the Contender Series in the very first round. As far as Danny Silva, he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He won a decision against Angel Pacheco on the Contender Series. He won a decision against Joshua Kulabau. He won a decision against Lucas Almeida, and then he lost a decision to Kevin Vallejos. So, yeah, I'm pretty high on Curtis Campbell. Like, this guy looks like the goods even at 23 years old. I think he's a decent striker, has a lot of tools on the feet, but I'm really impressed with his ground game. When he gets on top, this guy fights like a panther. Like, imagine a panther getting on top, like an angry panther getting on top of you. It's kind of what this guy looks at. Like his ground and pound's nasty, good BJJ. I think he's pretty well rounded, and he's going against Danny Silva, who's a very tough guy. I mean, look at that. He went to decision with Kevin Vallejos, ate a bunch of big shots. I don't even think he got hurt in that fight, but he ate like a ton of shots to the face. Next level durable, has that dog in him. He's willing to eat one to give one. He's willing to eat like 7 to give a couple. So yeah, I think this is another banger of a fight. We got Curtis Campbell making his debut. A lot of high hopes for him. And I think this should be a fight he does win just because he has more tools. Really, wherever the fight goes, I think he has more ways to win this fight. And I think this fight goes to decision just because Danny Silva is an extremely durable guy. So yeah, leaning Campbell. And I actually like this guy. I'm hoping he goes out there, and I wish they gave him like a bum, to be honest. I wish they gave him somebody that he can go out there and kind of run through. But you're not really running through Danny Silva, so this should be a solid test. What are your thoughts here, Weezy?
Yeah, I think it's a really tough test for Curtis Campbell because what the best that he looks is when he gets takedowns in top time, and they call him the Pink Panther, but they should call him the Pink Pounder. And you're free to use it if you want. It's a better nickname, in my opinion. It's stronger, more masculine, and not only that, I think that when he gets into top position, that's when he turns from the Pink Panther into the Pink Pounder. And he just starts absolutely dropping horrific ground and pound on people. I love how aggressive he is when he gets into top position. But what I worry about is just because you're out grappling Euro trash grapplers, and I don't even know what the name of that promotion was that he fights in. Let me get it here for you. Like, this guy's not even in Cage Warriors. He's fighting in something called FCC, which stands for Full Contact Contender.
Hey.
So that I worry a little bit about that, but he is their champion. He's gotten a decision win in a 5-round fight. And then he's also finished 2 guys in championship fights. And then he went out there and out-grappled Demba Sek and finished him with some nice ground and pound elbows and knees there. So I like this guy too. He looks like a legitimate prospect, and he even had an amateur career that lasted almost 5 years where he went 8-1. So yeah, I think this kid's ready. He's young, he's well-rounded, his striking looks at least serviceable for the UFC, but he's very aggressive on the feet. I like the forward pressure. I like the mix of punches and kicks. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Curtis Campbell can do at this level. But what I really haven't seen yet, and I might have to watch the Mateus Lima fight where I can watch him fight for 5 rounds, is what happens if somebody stuffs Curtis's takedowns and then they're able to keep the fight standing against this guy? How is this guy's striking going to look for extended stretches at the UFC level? And my initial thought is that he's going to have a hard time winning minutes against Danny Silva on the feet here. And I rate Danny Silva's offensive and defensive wrestling. So I think that this could potentially be a good spot to back the dog if he's able to dictate the phases of this fight and maybe keep the fight standing, where Silva's got nice hands, man. You look at the level of boxer that he's been fighting at this level. Guys like Vallejos, guys like Almeida's got a bunch of power. Kulabao's a very experienced professional who's tall and long for the division. And he obviously pieced up Angel Pacheco on Dana White's Contender Series. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how close Silva can potentially keep this, especially if he does prove to be the better offensive and defensive wrestler, which I could definitely see him being that here.
Yeah, like I wish they would have gave Curtis Campbell, I don't know, give him. Who could they have given him? Give him, I don't want to say, give him Dennis Bazookia, right?
Yeah, Bazookia, or bring back AJ Cunningham, and let this kid get going a little bit.
Let him get going. Let him go up there. Let him get his finish in his hometown, right? Like, give him. Oh, remember that bum Roberto Romero? Give him Roberto Romero.
Yeah.
Let Harry Hardwick back in there. Why not?
Yeah, not this soon.
let Eric Silva back in there. Why not? What's Eric Silva up to? I'm sure he's not up to nothing.
Yeah, man. Maybe we could get him back in there. I think he's still got a couple of fights left on his deal, but he probably doesn't fight for another 2-3 years.
No, they cut him. They cut him, unfortunately. I'm pretty pissed off about it.
Oh.
I was pretty upset about that.
They snuck that one past me.
Yeah, they certainly did. So yeah, like you said, it's not an easy debut by any means. Danny Silva's a dog, so we'll see. But I think out of the two, Curtis Campbell has such a higher ceiling. Only 23 years old. I think the sky is kind of the limit for him. But we'll see. Curtis Campbell opened up minus 150, currently minus 200. Danny Silva opened up plus 130, currently plus 170. The over-under set at 2.5 rounds. The over 2.5 minus 175. The under 2.5 is plus 153. Pink Pounder is his porn name. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
That makes sense. Silva made the Vallejos fight pretty competitive. Yeah, I would say that's has been Vallejos' most competitive UFC fight thus far. Now they call him Pink Panther because he looks like Peter Sellers.
So Peter Sellers was the actor who played the Pink Panther in some movies that they're before my time, Brady.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're old.
He kind of does.
Yeah.
I can see it. FCC is honestly more reliable than Cage Warriors prospect-wise. I mean, Cage Warriors, maybe he's just saying that because Cage Warriors guys just drop the ball 24/7, you know? But I don't know. I've never heard of it.
I would be surprised about that. Now, this is not some fly-by-night organization that's only had like 4 events. Like they've had like over 40 events. So it's not like, and they've got, television crews, they've got announcers. It's not like some of these Brazilian mall promotions where they have midgets as the ring girls, but still I was surprised to be like, oh, this guy's not even a Cage Warriors guy. He's not even a Levels Fight League guy. He's this FCC or whatever it is. So yeah,
but he's the champion.
He is the champion. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Was Franco the champion of the mall? I forget.
No, I don't think.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
I don't think those organizations can't afford belts.
Well, I'm sure there's lots of belts at the mall. Not like championship belts though. So yeah, we'll see. All right, moving on to the next fight. It is going to be. There it is. Roman Delid going against Christian Leroy Duncan. We got Delid, fan of the show. I'm not sure if he's still a fan though. Delid, are you watching? Delid, are you watching? I don't know.
Message us if you're watching here in the chat. Let us know what's up.
Let us know if you're
this
watching.
Guy.
Let us know. Let us know if you're in the chat, Delid. But yeah, fan of the show, Roman Delid going against Christian Leroy Duncan. We got Delid, 37 years old, 6'2" with a 76-inch reach. Christian Leroy Duncan, 30 years old, 6'2" with a 79-inch reach. Christian Leroy Duncan, 7 years younger, same height, 3-inch reach advantage. Delid is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A decision loss to Nasruddin Imavov. A decision win against Anthony Smith. A knockout win against Kevin Holland. A decision win against Marvin Vettori, and then a submission loss against Anthony Hernandez. As far as Christian Leroy Duncan, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Claudio Ribeiro. Decision loss to Gregory Rodriguez. Decision win against Andre Pulayev. A knockout win against Eric Anders, and then a knockout win against Marco Tullio. So, yeah, I really like Christian Leroy Duncan here in this fight, Weezy. The only problem is he's like minus 450. Like,
What are we supposed to do with that, dude?
I mean, he doesn't have the best fight IQ either. I mean, there's some rough fight IQs on the card this week, but yeah, I think Christian Leroy Duncan's very good. The only criticism I have of him is sometimes he goes out there and just kind of looks to point fight and spar and just doesn't look to even try. But when this guy puts his foot on the gas pedal, he's disgusting to watch. He has a ton of power, a ton of tools on the feet, a ton of spinning shit. I think Christian Leroy Duncan's a very talented striker. And he's going against Delid, who is extremely low volume, doesn't have the best striking defense. He's extremely tough, but if Delid can't get this fight down to the ground, he's going to get picked apart. And Delid doesn't even wrestle that much. And so, yeah, got to go Duncan here, but minus 450. I'd rather lay minus 450 on Chanel Dyer, to be honest. But yeah, give me Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting fight because, I think this fight goes to decision, but Duncan is the kind of striker where if he lands with something pretty, he can knock out literally anybody. And he's always throwing this crazy spinning shit, So, like, if you get hit right by one of those shots, you're going down. I don't even care if you're Roman Delid. And the other thing that really worries me is Christian's penchant to throw that crazy dumbass spinning shit.
Oh God.
He could wind up turning his back on this dude, getting his back taken, and then just wind up in really bad spots on the ground against Roman Delid. If you make a mistake, if you like, do you remember that? Kevin Holland lost to Delid just because he slipped on a kick, and then Delid wound up getting on top of him and then just beating the piss out of him, and then he had to quit between rounds because he popped a rib out or something like that. So this is a weird one because I think that Delid is actually kind of strangely live in this fight because of how unorthodox Christian Leroy Duncan is with his striking. And Roman Delid is pretty comfortable in the clinch, and Christian Leroy Duncan spends a lot of time there. So I could see some scenarios where Delid maybe does get this fight to the ground and is able to put Christian in some bad spots there. But if this fight stays in the clinch or at distance striking range, it's just hard to picture Delid consistently winning minutes or moments anywhere. Because, first of all, Christian Leroy Duncan has never been finished as a professional or as an amateur. He's got something like 23 amateur fights to go along with the 15 professional fights that he's had. So, I don't know. Like, Delidze's never been the guy that you can count on to go out there and wrestle. But what he'd probably be more likely to do is like snatch up a leg with an Imanari roll or something and then wind up trying to make this a grappling match. And if you wind up in Delidze's guard or, he starts chaining together submission attempts, we know how dangerous he can be. So it's going to be a really fun fight. I kind of like the overs, but like I still can see a very clear finishing path for both fighters. And I have been consistently donating money to the Roman Delid submission fund for I definitely did it in the Hernandez fight. I definitely did it in the Vettori fight. I think I played Holland, a small play on a Holland submission. Yeah, dude, I've been playing his sub prop for a very long time. Like, people like to throw away money on Gregory Rodriguez's sub prop. I like to do that with Roman Delidze's sub prop. And I could see Duncan throwing some dumbass spinning shit or a jumping triple Lutz, and he winds up on his ass, and then Delidze puts him in a bad spot. So, yeah, going to be an interesting fight, man. But I see why the line is this wide. Duncan's got ridiculous athleticism.
At least you want to donate on the sub prop this week because it's only plus 650.
Yeah, but I think honestly, the domestics are going to have plus 1,200.
Yeah.
Watch, I guarantee it.
Maybe. So yeah, plus 1,200, then could be worth a sprinkle, but I don't know. I don't like it personally. So yeah, Duncan minus 450, Delidze plus 350, and yeah, this over is really enticing. And I'm an under guy. Listen, we're in London, right? Mm-hmm. We don't get finishes anymore. And these are like two of the most durable guys, like Christian Leroy. I don't think I've ever seen Christian Leroy Duncan hurt, let alone finished, pro or amateur. And I don't think I've ever seen. Well, I've seen Delidze hurt once on the feet, but he's never been knocked out in 19 fights. So, yeah, I think the fight goes is pretty interesting. Maybe I'll get to it. Delidze is almost as slow as Dontel Mays. Oh God, oh God. Every time CLD steps up in competition, he loses. Delidze is no chump. Let's see who Christian's lost to. He's lost to Gregory Rodriguez and Armin Petrosian. Oh, God. Armin Petrosian. I remember Sean Strickland saying Roman's back was aft during the fluffy camp. Oh, gosh. This line seems wide, no sub and grappling upside versus an at times tentative striker. Yeah, he is tentative at times. Like in the Puglia fight, I remember not cashing an inside the distance prop there. Like, how are you not finishing Andre Puglia, but you can finish, Marco Tullio? There we go. NCAA wrestling final starts this week. Cormier's commentating. Nice. That'll be cool. Eileen Perez's butthole likes the wanker in this matchup. Well, there you go. He's a big favorite. CLD destroys Roman. Delidze's back is messed up. He's does he? That's not good. Having a bad back is not plus EV.
No, it isn't.
Got that right. All right. Next up, we got Baroninski going against Austin Lane. We got Iwu, 27 years old, 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. Austin Lane, 38 years old, 6'6" with an 80-inch reach. Iwo Baroninski, 11 years younger. It's going to be Austin Lane with a 6-inch height advantage and a 7-inch reach advantage. Iwo Baroninski is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He had a knockout win on the Contender Series as a plus 230 dog against Muhammad Ali. And then he made his debut against Ibo Aslan, won that fight by first round KO. As far as Austin Lane, he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Got knocked out by Justin Tafa. Got knocked out by Janata Deniz. He beat Rebelis to Spain by decision. He got knocked out by Mario Pinto. And then he got submitted by Vitor Petrino. So for one, I don't think this fight's even going to happen, Wheezy. You're telling me Austin Lane is going to cut down to light heavyweight, make 206 this Friday. This guy's 6'6". This guy's weighing in on some of his fights like 250s. I don't know. I don't buy it. I really don't buy it. If Austin Lane shows up and makes weight, for one, that'd be crazy and impressive. And for two, he's going to get himself killed in there against Iwu. I mean, Austin Lane is 38 years old. He's taken a ton of. I mean, this guy was a football player for most of his life. Took a ton of damage in football, and then he's taken a ton of damage in the cage. And this is a guy in Austin Lane where, yes, he's been knocked out 6 times, but each and every time he's getting knocked out, he's getting knocked out. I'm talking head bouncing off the canvas. I'm talking you losing 5 to 10 years off your life each and every time this guy's going down. So, yeah, don't love this career choice for Austin Lane. I'm not sure what he's thinking. If he's thinking, oh, yeah, maybe these guys won't hit as hard down here, it's like, oh, he's going against Ivo Baroninski, who hits very, very hard. So, yeah, this should be Ivo Baroninski here, but I don't think this fight's happening. And if you're Austin Lane, nobody would fault you if you just pull it out of the fight and hung him up. Because if he doesn't, Wheezy, he might end up on a stretcher this Saturday.
Well, I mean, what could the move down to 205 be construed as anything but a desperation move?
Oh,
And this guy's got 6 UFC fights and he's won 1 of them.
oh,
And it was against Robelis de Spain, who's got the balance of a baby giraffe. So he took him down, laid on top of him, and won the fight. But I mean, Iwo's not going to let you do that to him. He's a judo black belt. The guy's been in a judo gi since he was 8 years old. He had something like, he's had a ton of amateur experience, and he's got 7 pro fights as well in 2.5 years. And guy's clearly got power. He can move people around from the clinch position because of that judo black belt. And he's, sneakily experienced for a guy that's 27 years old. But who's giving this guy Austin Lane advice?
oh, God.
Because I remember when they said that Jack Hermanson was moving down from 185 to 170, and I was like, there's no way. A guy with chin problems is not going to cut 15 pounds. That's going to make his chin even more susceptible to taking big shots. And now he's fighting up this refrigerator-shaped Polak with heavy hands who's knocking out Ibo Aslan. He's very accurate and right to the target with everything that he throws. So I think Baroninski's going to knock Lane out, but I'm interested to see if Lane does make weight, how Baroninski deals with, because in order to use his judo, he's going to need to close the range, and in order to hit this guy, he's going to need to get into range, but he's at a 6-inch height disadvantage and a 7-inch reach disadvantage. So if Austin Lane does make weight, if he can use that, athleticism to kind of keep distance striking range and stay at a safe distance and jab this guy up and maybe mix in an open mat takedown or two, could wind up winning some minutes in this fight. But his chin, how do you back somebody with chin concerns in these weight classes, especially against somebody like Baroninski? I don't know how you could do that. So I'm fine to stay the hell away from this one.
Yep. I thought the under would be wider, but it's only minus 300. They're giving a nice discount there. I love it. I thought it'd be minus 500. The fight doesn't go as minus 1,200. Is Ivo Baroninski a fan of steak and yachts?
He might be, but I wouldn't want to mess around with this Lane guy too long just because of the size difference.
Well, Lane's at a size advantage against everybody. He just stinks, dude. He's horrible.
These football players that have chin issues coming into the organization, it's just crazy how much they tend to get knocked out.
Yeah.
Guys like Zach Pauga.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Didn't Pauga get knocked out by Muhammad Usman?
No, didn't that fight? Well, that fight went to decision. It was horrible, right?
No, I think he got slept by Muhammad Usman, man.
That's right. I had Usman at plus 200. He
Wow.
knocked him out in the second round.
Yeah, it was brutal. Baroninski ICD minus 550. There we go.
All right. I like that.
I like it. I think it hit.
Free money.
His ITD props minus 550. He's literally minus 600. There we go. All right. Yeah. I don't know where Austin Lane's going to lose these 45 pounds from. Like he's not fat at all.
He's not fat. Yeah. I mean, it'd be different if he was carrying a little extra weight around his belly or something, but he's not. I don't know where this weight's going to come from.
Like he's actually in good shape. Like weighing it at 250. He's going to cut off an arm and a leg. I don't get it.
That's why some of these guys try MMA. They're like, Christ, like it's less than 1/10 of 1% of the population has a frame like that with athleticism.
Yeah, this fight's not going to happen. I mean, he hasn't posted on Instagram in 35 weeks. I don't think it's happening. But if it does, rest in peace, Austin Lane. My goodness. How's Austin Lane still in the UFC? Well, they're trying to build people up, I guess. Austin Lane gets knocked out a lot. Put Evo on this main card, get him a knockout win. Austin Lane had no chin at heavyweight. What is he thinking? Dropping to 205. Get some help. Austin Lane. Lane will be joining Shannon Ross and Mickey Gall and Chinny Heaven. There we go. What's up, Daniel? All of these main events make sense. Brits in London, and then randomly Austin Lane show up to get meme KO. They're trying to bring some violence into London, and how else to do that with bringing in some Austin Lane, man? Austin gets knocked out in the funniest way. Him and Johnny Walker, yes. He's not a coward. That's true. He's not a coward. I'll give him that. Austin Lane is absolute cheeks. Oh, gosh. Uncle Weezy with the Mason Jones stats on point. He should have to close distance against the karate guy. Agreed. Austin Lane, #1 contender for next week. Who needs to get some help? Yeah, I mean, Evil might need to get some help if he can't knock this guy out, though. Lane gets KO'd. Austin Lane they're letting him back in there. I don't know who cleared this guy to fight. Lane is Marauder. He is not really. He's not really. I don't know what he is. He's a football player getting knocked out every single time. 100 likes and Wheezy bets Baroninski by decision. It's 10-1. There we go. I think
he might want to slow this one down in the clinch a little bit.
Yes.
Wear on him.
Free Austin Lane. Oh gosh, free him. You got to make some money, and if football cuts you like physically, they can do fighting, but getting hit in the face will let you know if you want to be there.
Yeah.
All right. And by the way, do we have 100 likes yet? Let's take a look. Wow, we do. We have 101.
Nice.
There we go.
Really good.
Heck yeah, I'll take it. All right. Let's move on to the people's main event. It is going to be Michael Paige going against Sam Patterson. I think this is the fight I'm most looking forward to. We got Michael Paige, 38 years old, 6'2" with a 79-inch reach. Sam Patterson, 29 years old, 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. We got Sam Patterson is going to be 9 years younger, have a 1-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Michael Paige is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Kevin Holland, won that fight by decision. Lost the decision to Ian Gary, beat Shar Magomedov by decision, and Jared Cannonier by decision. As far as Sam Patterson, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, got knocked out by Yanal Ashmos, beat Johan Lioness by first-round submission, beat Kiefer Crosby by first-round submission, knocked out Danny Barlow, and then knocked out Trey Waters. Sam Patterson, I believe, has 5 fights in the UFC. All 5 have finished in the very first round. And Michael Paige has had 4 fights in the UFC, and all 4 fights have went to decision. Weezy, something has to give here. Something has to give. What do you think for this one? This should be an awesome fight.
Yeah, can't wait for this one, but I think Michael Paige is going to do what he does to everybody and just frustrate the shit out of him. and Sam Patterson doesn't have really any offensive wrestling. He's got great power on the feet, power that I've been underestimating for the last few fights, and he keeps proving me wrong. But Michael Paige is just, almost impossible to find. And Sam Patterson has some of the weakest strength of schedule. He's actually ranked 77th out of 77, according to my strength of schedule rankings in this division. And you look at the names, and it's not surprising. Yanal Ashmos, Johan Leonis, Kiefer Crosby, Danny Barlow, who has a rat tail.
Oh, God.
And then Trey Waters, who I think was his best win. And that was a really impressive win. So, but, Paige's striking is just on a different level. He's an extremely frustrating opponent to be in there against. He's very defensively responsible. He's very low volume. And he kind of decisively wins rounds by landing 4 more significant strikes than you land. It's just one of those things. He's a very unique stylistic opponent to match up against. And I don't think Sam has the tools to do what he needs to do to win the fight. Is he as good as like an Ian Gary, who arguably and Ian had to out-grapple Paige in order to win that fight. Yeah. So if Ian Gary can't even outstrike you, I don't know if Sam Patterson's going to be able to. And if Sam is able to get this fight to the ground, I do think that he's obviously going to be live to put Paige in some really bad spots and potentially find a finish. And he could land a big shot on the feet too. It's not like Paige hasn't been knocked out before, but I think that Paige is going to frustrate the shit out of him, dude. And I think he's going to win a decision. That's what I think. What do you think?
I like Paige here quite a bit. A lot of money's coming in on Patterson, though. And I get it. Like, Patterson is going to be a very popular dog this week because he has a ton of power on the feet. But it's like, is he going to be able to catch Paige? It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough to hit Paige. And then, obviously, he has a big grappling advantage if he can take him down, but it's going to be tough for him to take him down. And Patterson's not some phenomenal wrestler. So I agree. I actually think Paige is live for his first knockout, though, because Patterson's so freaking hittable and so freaking chinny. So I could see like a Paige knockout here. This has violence written all over it. But the only thing holding me back is apparently these guys have like trained with each other on multiple different occasions. They're kind of like buddies. So typically when that's the case, we do go over. But yeah, money is coming on this under. It was like minus 125. I didn't hate it there, but now it's like minus 140. So might not get to it. It was maybe a Paige by knockout. Let's see. Plus 185. Not bad. Not bad. The thing is, he's not going to throw a ton of strikes, but I think he could potentially knock out Patterson here. Yeah, we'll see where this line goes. A lot of people are on Patterson this week. Let's see how it goes. Back-to-back KOs. Patterson gets a KO and Lane gets a KO. Oh, Patterson gets KO'd and Lane gets KO'd is I think what you're trying to say there. Yeah, exactly. Patterson and MVP were training partners for his Holland fight camp. See, that scares me. Whenever these guys are buddy-buddy and you're betting it under. I'm surprised with the line moving on Patterson. Yeah, I guess I kind of am as well, but Patterson does have a couple paths. Patterson has a ton of power, and Patterson does have a very good submission game if he gets it down there. 500 likes, and Brady buys a used Jessica Andrade fight-worn panty over his head at like Lucha Libre the next stream. I'll do it for 200 likes. Hell yeah. I know that's disgusting, man. Disgusting. Sam doesn't offensively wrestle. He's a reactionary grappler. Every submission win I've seen from him is a result of his opponents trying to clinch or take him down. MVP is going to stay at range all night. Agreed. Sam Patterson's nickname can't also be the future. Another wanker already has that name locked up. Sam is 9 years younger. He's got your money. He is younger, but this guy Paige, he doesn't look like an old man at all. I mean, he's probably one of the fastest guys on the entire roster. So, but yeah, Sam is younger. MVP is the slipperiest fighter in UFC history. That's just not true. The slipperiest fighter in UFC history is Slippery Pete Barrett.
Yeah, nobody's slipperier than Slippery Pete Barrett. They had to kick him out of the UFC because he was greasing up the octagon so much.
I know they had to.
People were slipping around in there like a slip and slide after he fought, especially after the Chase Hooper fight.
Oh my gosh! And you know how good Chase Hooper's on the ground. It took him 3 rounds to submit him because he was just so slippery, just slipping out.
So incredibly slippery.
Yeah, slippery Pete Barrett's about as slippery as they come.
Yeah.
MVP won't be found on the feed. It's impossible to find this guy on the feed.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Last time 2 friends had a fight was Volkov versus Pavlovich. Oh God, yeah, and I got burnt there. The under 1.5 in the Pavlovich Volkov. Of course, this is gonna finish. Pavlovich hasn't seen a second round yet in the UFC. Goes 3 rounds. Gosh,
coasts 3 rounds.
Coast. So, yeah, obviously this fight spells violence, but I don't know if I can get there. And plus, the line's getting away from me. So slippy, yeah. Darn that slippery Pete Barrett. What is slippery Pete Barrett doing right now? Let's see. Slippery Pete Barrett. Tapology. Let's see what he's been up to. Tapology. We got to get him back in the UFC. Oh my gosh, he's 17-6. Wow.
Yeah.
He's doing some bare knuckle boxing. Wow.
Yeah, he put on a nice little win streak after the loss to the anabolic Arab Ali Zebian.
Dang, yeah, he did. Wow. He's on like a 5-fight win streak in MMA. He's been doing some boxing. He did get anaconda choked by Charles Rosa. I think in Jorge Masvidal's promotion, Game Bred Bare Knuckle. But yeah, look at him go. Very slippery. We got to get him back in the UFC ASAP.
Yeah, we do.
All right. We'll move on now to, I believe this should be the co-main event. It's going to be Luke Riley going against Michael Asell. We got Luke Riley, 26 years old, 5'9" with a 69-inch reach. Michael Asell, 25 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. We got Michael Asell, 1 year younger. Riley with a 1-inch height advantage. Got the same reach there. We got Luke Riley, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Bogdan Grad and won that fight by second-round knockout. As far as Michael Asell, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A decision loss to Bogdan Grad on the Contender Series. Beat Dorian Ramos by decision. He lost to Balaji Oki by decision. And then he brutally knocked out Lucas Almeida in his last fight. So, yeah, fun fight here. We were kind of talking before the show. It's like money poured in on Michael Asell. Luke Riley went from -300 to -225 in the snap of a finger. And Asell went from +250 to +190 in the matter of seconds. A lot of money coming in on Michael Asell. And I think it makes sense. It's like Aswell's not a bad fighter at all. He's training with Joshua Van and Alden Correa and the guys over at 4 Ounce Fight Club. This guy's throwing a ton of strikes per minute. The only thing I don't like about Asell is he just doesn't have a ton of power. I think that there's a huge power advantage for Luke Riley. Luke Riley's also going to be the hometown guy. So I think you do got to favor Luke Riley here, but I think it's going to be like minute for minute. It's going to be close. I could even see Asell, landing more volume here, but the bigger shots are going to come from Riley. He's going to have the crowd behind him, and I think he has pretty much all the finishing upside. So I lean Riley, but yeah, I get why some money's coming in on Asell, especially when he was like +250, +260. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this phenomenal co-main event?
Yeah, nice striker versus striker matchup here, and both of these guys are young. I mean, Luke Riley, 26, Michael Asell, only 25. They're similar in size, but it just seems like Asell is a little bit more of the constant pressure and output, while Luke Riley is a guy who looks for those big moments. He's finished 9 of his wins by knockout, and 3 of his wins are by decision, while for Asell, it's 5 wins by decision and 6 wins by knockout. And you could tell that Asell is not a guy that's going to go out there and just starch people in round 1 unless you come in with only one hand like Lucas Almeida did, But other than that, I mean, he is a guy that is going to be pressure, pace, volume. And if you slow down late in fights, if you're the kind of guy who gets frustrated when somebody takes your best shot and keeps coming forward, Michael Asell can break you late in the fight. So this is going to be a fun one because I don't see much break in either one of these guys. They're both very, very tough guys that are there to fight, and they're both young. They're both in their physical primes right now. So, yeah, this is going to be a really fun fight. I'm looking forward to seeing Riley because he's really explosive. He's a knockout artist. And the ones that I've seen from him so far in Cage Warriors have been really fun. So he's definitely a highly touted prospect. But I remember he was minus 300 earlier today, and then he was all of a sudden in a blink minus 225. So obviously a lot of money is coming in on the Aswell side, and he's going to get the fight that he wants. He's going to get a striking match here. It's just that he's got to go all the way to England to fight against the Brit. And every time Riley lands, the crowd's going to go nuts. And every time Aswell lands, it's going to be silent. So I think that even if Aswell can keep this close or have a really good performance, Riley still might get his hand raised on the judges' scorecards here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out on the judges' scorecards if it winds up being a close fight. But I'm just a little bit more on the Riley side because of the moment-winning upside that this dude brings with that explosive striking that he has.
Yep, right there with you. Luke Riley opened at minus 175, currently minus 225. Michael Aswell opened at plus 150, currently plus 190. Over under set at 2.5 rounds. The over 2.5 is minus 150. The under 2.5 is plus 130. I kind of like the over, but I don't know if I'll bet it because it's going to be a ding-dong Donnybrook of a fight.
You got that right. A ding-dong and a Donnybrook, Brady. And that when you get both, you get entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of fights on this card where I'm like, it's a phenomenal fight. I just don't know if I want to put my money on it. Like Luke Riley, Michael Aswell is a phenomenal fight. Mason Jones, Axel Sola, phenomenal fight. Lassane Keta, Nathaniel Wood, phenomenal fight. We got a lot of fun, even Paige Patterson, fun fights. And then we got the main event that we'll talk about in a second. That's not probably going to be the worst fight on the card. Unless you like wrestling and grappling and Evalev getting 10 plus takedowns. MVP is not the co-main. Aswell, yes, let's go Michael Aswell. I usually don't use MMA math, but Luke Riley arguably beat a better version of Bogdan Grad you're talking about. Luke Riley has better boxing and basically a boxing match, more power, more accuracy. This is my main bet of the week. Yeah, I agree. He has a ton more power. Yeah. Aswell will just box. He's good, but he's just a cardio volume boxer. Luke Riley should be able to tap that. Oh God. He might tap that Aswell. He just might. All right, Weezy, let's move on to the main event. Before we do so, we want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of the show, and that is going to be Underdog Fantasy. Right now, if you go to Underdog Fantasy and use code DFSBTN, you will get $75 free in bonus funds when you play your first $5 lineup. And I'll check in a second, but if we get 3 signups, Weezy's taking a shot on Antonio Tracali.
Yeah.
Or that bum Felipe Franco. And if we get 1 sign up, we get a story from Uncle Weezy. So you guys have about 15 minutes to get a sign up in there. Go get your free bonus funds. And I want to hear this story from Uncle Weezy. So hopefully at least one person signed up. All right, main event. Mosver Evalev going against Lerone Murphy. We got Evalev, 32 years old, 5'7" with a 72-inch reach. Lerone Murphy, 34 years old, 5'9" with a 73-inch reach. We got Evalev 2 years younger. Murphy with a 2-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage. We got Evalev, who is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. A decision win against Akeem Dawodu, Dan Ige, Diego Lopez, Arnold Allen, and Aljamain Sterling. As far as Lerone Murphy, 5-0 in his last 5 fights as well. Decision win against Josh Kulabau, Edson Barbosa, Dan Ige, Josh Emmett, and Aaron Pico. Knockout win in his last fight. Weezy, I guess I'm kind of looking forward to this fight. It's a very high-level fight with 2 of some of the best guys in the division, 2 guys that probably deserve title shots, and one of these guys will be getting a title shot in the very near future, I'm thinking. What are your thoughts on this main event?
Yeah, it's a striker versus a grappler here. I mean, obviously, both guys are very well-rounded fighters at the top of the division. So, I mean, obviously, Lerone can grapple, Evalev can strike, but this comes down to whether Evalev gets takedowns or not, because on the feet, Lerone Murphy's going to be 2 inches taller. He's going to have a 1-inch reach advantage, and he's going to be the better minute and moment winner while this fight is at distance striking range. He's going to be faster. He's going to be longer. He's going to be more powerful, and he's got better technique, and he's got better, unusual weapons like kicks and knees and spinning shit than Evalev has. But Evalev is an elite crotch sniffer. And I know people don't really care for that style, but, you know, if you don't care for the style, you should still be betting on it because it's a dominant style. I mean, if you like what Mick Tebek Oral Boy did to Chris Curtis, if you bet on Oral Boy, it was easy. It was easy money. He was never in any trouble in that fight. And I think we saw somebody else do that too, where they just drowned somebody with the wrestling and didn't allow them any chances to win minutes. And, you know, it's going to work. It's going to continue to work. Evalev doesn't need to go out there and finish guys, you know, because he can go out there against people with great power in Dan Ige and Diego Lopez and win minutes against them. He can go out there against a good all-around fighter in Arnold Allen and go out there and win the minutes against them and even almost hurt him at one point on the feet. He can go out there against a phenomenal grappler in Aljamain Sterling and out-grapple that dude. So I think that this is going to be Evalev, but, you know, he's on a 1 year and 3 month layoff. This guy just isn't fighting very often. He's only got 9 UFC fights over a very long period of time that he's been here, and the guy needs to be more active and he needs to be a little bit more exciting because if he's not as dominant with his wrestling as he needs to be, I could see him letting some of these rounds slip away. So I think Laron Murphy's got paths here. He can, you know, he can stuff takedowns and land the bigger shots on the feet. He can have the crowd help him out in any kind of close round by cheering for him and not cheering or booing when Evalev gets into top position. But the key stat, Brady, the stat of the fight, you know, is that Laron Murphy has 51% takedown defense over his UFC career. 51%. And he gets controlled for over 23% of his UFC octagon time. But yeah, he's allowing 2.61 takedowns on 5.33 attempts against 51% takedown defense. And he loses a lot of time in those positions. But and Evalev can hold his own at distance striking range. And this is not a guy that's gonna just be like completely helpless while the fight is on the feet. He lands 5.59 and absorbs 4.16 at distance for a positive 1.43 distance striking differential with 65% defense. So not only is Evalev good with his footwork, keeping his hands high and not taking big damage on the feet, but the threat of the wrestling also slows down the output of his opponents. So Evalev spends 51% of his octagon time at distance striking range. For Murphy, it's 61%. So I think that number is going to come down closer to 50-40% in this fight, and that Evalev is going to win the minutes, bank the rounds, and win a decision.
Like he does. Loves decisions, man.
He does.
So yeah, Evalev is currently sitting at minus 230, open at minus 250. Murphy opened up plus 210, currently plus 195. The over is getting, it got smashed, dude. The over at 4.5 opened up at minus 155. It's now minus 245. The under is plus 203 now. It's because it's a Movsar Evalev fight there. So yeah, we'll see. This fight looked like it wasn't going to happen for a second. I thought Gene Silva was going to step in, but apparently Evalev made it to London. Did he?
I guess
he did. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know why Silva was tweeting always stay ready, but I don't know. Maybe just doing it for the likes. I don't know. All right, Weezy, we did it. You did it. Yeah, 51%. It's got to be higher. It's got to be higher. All right, Weezy, we did it. We're going to go through. We got to get the piping this week. We got to get the milking. So what we're going to do, because we've kind of been crapping the bet on it, we're going to let the viewers decide here. The milking and the piping. We'll see if we don't get it right, we're just going to blame them next week, right?
That's beautiful. And yeah, and if I lose money on Melissa Mullins, I'm going to blame her and not me for betting on her, and I'm going to eviscerate her next week. So Melissa Mullins, time to win a fight.
So it's never our fault. So let's blame the viewers if they get this wrong. But maybe you guys will get it right, and if you do, we're going to take credit for it.
Yes.
That's how it goes. All right, just kidding. But all right, so who's going to pipe their opponent on site? Weezy, you're going to pick 2 guys. I'm going to pick 2 guys, and then we're going to let the chat decide. So if you got to pick your first option, there's a lot of pipings on this card by the looks of it.
Yeah, poor Antonio Tracali is probably going to be leaving the octagon on a stretcher with a pipe sticking out of his head.
Okay. Let's see. So you're going with Montes Condra to Vicious as your first option. Let's see here. I'll throw Ivo Baroninski out there against Austin Lane coming down to 205. Like, I don't even think the fight's going to happen, but if it does, I think it's going to be bad. All right, another option for you, Wheezy.
Definitely, I'm going to go with Brando Perisic, the 6'5" Balkan Bear, to potentially get a knockout over Louis Sutherland, who I just think is a mid-heavyweight at this point, but he's a very durable guy.
Yeah.
And he's fought some tough names on the European regional scene. So I don't think it's a sure thing that Perisic is going to knock him out, but that dude does look like the real deal. It looks like he's eventually going to be a ranked heavyweight.
I mean, Tuivasa is a ranked heavyweight, so they could rank him right now, and I wouldn't bat an eye. I can't believe it. Tuivasa is ranked 15 on a 6-fight losing streak. And then I'll go with Mario Pinto. Felipe Franco is the worst fighter I've ever seen in my entire life. So there we go. We will let the chat decide. Montes, Condra de Vicious, Iwo, Baroninski, Brando, Perisic, or Mario Pinto. And while we let the chat decide, Weezy, let's talk some underdog here. Let's talk some underdog play of the week. I'm gonna pull up underdog right now and see what we got. Let's see here. We probably don't have everything yet,
but there's a decent amount already up there.
Oh yeah, there is. They got takedowns. They got Evalev 5.5 takedowns. Patterson 1.5 takedowns. Is he gonna get 2 takedowns? I don't know. Jones 1.5 takedowns. Fight time. We got some interesting. Baroninski 7.5 fight time. Give me the lower. Jeez. Oh, but it's 0.66. A couple things sticking out. Condra de Vicious lower than 7.5 minutes fight time. There's a lot of things sticking out. Let's see. Anything you liking?
I was looking at potentially an under for Luana Karolina significant strikes. And what I wanted to look at some fight time stuff too here.
Usually I like the Paige and his opponents lower than fight time or lower than significant strikes, but they did a good job pricing it.
They did. I always look at that.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's a mistake on here. So I think I know what I'm going to go with.
What's the mistake?
They got Evalev fight time at 14.99 minutes, even though it's a 25-minute fight.
Oh, yeah.
So higher is 0.74x. So unless like Evalev is hurt or something like that, I think that there's a really good chance that we go higher than 14.99 fight time for Movsar Evalev.
Yeah, that should be at 24.99. So
yeah,
I like that. And then I'll just go with should I go the Baroninski lower on fight time or the Condra de Vicious lower on fight time? I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, dude, put whichever one you feel like, because I'd be shocked if either one of them went over 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll just go Baroninski lower on fight time. So Baroninski lower on fight time, and then Evalev higher on fight time. I mean, I really like that. I'd be kind of surprised if that lost, to be honest. Does Brando have 1 round of cardio?
Well, no, see, the thing was he fought somebody named Randall Raymond on the regional scene, and the fight was a crazy high-paced fight that had a ton of up and down and a lot of grappling in it. Oh. And he gassed out in round 2 and got subbed by Randall Raymond, who's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and one of the top heavyweight grapplers on the Australian regional scene. So that particular fight, it looked like he had bad cardio, but like this fight is not going to take place like that fight. Sutherland's not going to go out there and put a pace on him like Raymond did.
No. Let's see. So Evalev will not be his self Saturday night and use it as an excuse. We'll have to see. The UFC probably wants Murphy to win just because how Evalev fights. Yeah. Not the most exciting style. Mario Pinto to pipe at the mall cop. Well, let's see what you guys decided. Here we go. Wow. It's very close. In 4th place, Wheezy Paric 0%.
Dear God, no.
In third
Back
place,
your Uncle Wheezy. Who's out there trying to help me, huh?
a lot of Sutherland fans out there.
Guess so, man.
In third place, Baroninski at 28%. In second place, Montes Condra Vicious at 34%. And then in first place, the guy fighting a mall cop, Mario Pinto, 38%. So I'll type that up in a second, but while I do that, let's do the milking now. So Wheezy, your first option for milking of the week.
Milking of the week. Oh boy, that's a good question. Well, I'll go with Melissa No Mess Mullins because if she does fight smart, she can absolutely take down Luana Karolina and milk her ass.
Yep, she's a milker. I kind of think Pinto could potentially milk Franco as well, but he's already the piping. Let's see here. God, I don't know, man. There's not a ton of. Give me Mosver Evalev to milk Lerone Murphy.
Yeah,
a
that makes a lot of sense.
Prolonged milking over 25 minutes. All right, another option.
Other option would be Curtis the Pink Pounder Campbell because he can get on top and really do some good things with his grappling game there. So if he is able to take down Silva, I think that's a good potential option there.
Yep. And then my next option is just gonna be I don't know, dude. Like, can Ravenna or can Chanel Dyer milk Olivera? It'd be like a standing milking. Maybe she can milk her standing.
Oh, she could absolutely submit her. Did you see Stephanie Luciano looking like Damian Maya on the mat against Ravenna Olivera?
I did. It was hilarious.
Did you see Tainara Lisboa, your striker, go out there and win 4.5 minutes of control time in round 2 against Ravenna Olivera? Just crazy stuff.
I did. So
that could happen. It could be Chanel Dyer.
It could.
She
happen.
might go out there and like pull a Mark Diakese and turn into a wrestler, and she might be wearing Chanel like a cheap suit the whole fight.
It could happen. All right, so we gave 4 options: Evalev, No Mess Mullins, Curtis Campbell, and Chanel Dyer. So we'll let you guys vote there. But let me pull it up here. The piping of the week, and I'd be shocked if this didn't come through. Like Mario Pinto to pipe that mall cop. What's his name?
Felipe
Franco on site. Here we go. All right, the on-site piping of the week is Mario Pinto to pipe that mall cop, Felipe Franco, on site in London. Let's go. Let's hit it. I like it, guys. I like it. Brandon going to gas, trying to get the finish. Louis fought Slim, who's pretty good. Yeah, I think they're both probably going to be gas, and it's going to be a disgusting fight. What's your guys' prediction of fumble of the week? Well, it all depends. Does Mario Pinto like steak? Does Montes Condra Vicious like steak? Does Chanel Dyer like steak? I mean, they're getting layups. Baroninski, does he like steak? We could see a steakhouse bet potentially, Weezy.
Yeah, there's a few of them potentially. I mean, like people know what's going on here. You know, Iwo by decision. I mean, he's minus 600. His decision prop is probably plus 800.
Yeah, plus 1,000.
Plus 900 on Bet Online.
Jeez.
Plus 900. This guy is 83% implied to win the fight, and they're giving him a 10% chance to win by decision.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Montes round 1, Iwo round 1, Pinto round 1. The only thing about Pinto is he really does take his time, and he's actually won a couple decisions. So I know he's fighting a complete bum, but it could be like round 2. He knocked Lane out in round 2, and he finished Denise in round 2. So maybe it could be round 2 for Pinto. But yeah, Montes round 1 and Iwo round 1. I would lean that way. All right. So let's see what you guys said for the milking of the week, and it's not close either. It's not close. In 4th place, the Pink Panther.
Okay.
Curtis Campbell at 0%. In 3rd place.
Once again, you're killing me.
Killing you. Killing your Uncle Weezy. 3rd place, Chanel Dyer at 17%. 2nd place, Melissa No Mess Mullins at 22%. And then in first place, Mosvar Evalev at 61%. So, yeah, it makes sense to me. Milking of the week is going to be Mosvar Evalev to milk. What do they call him, the Miracle?
Laron the Miracle Murphy. You know why they call him the Miracle?
Because the judges gave him that decision against Gabriel Santos.
Yeah. And because he was shot in the head twice and survived.
I know, it's crazy. To milk Laron Murphy this Saturday. I'm liking the underdog picks.
Yeah.
I'm liking the piping. I'm liking the milking. I think we could go undefeated here. This Saturday. I'm liking it. I'm liking it quite a bit.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. And we'll take all the credit if it comes through, and you guys will take all the blame if it loses. So just be ready for that on Monday next week.
100%. And hopefully Melissa Mullins wins, because if not, Monday could get a little ugly next week. Could get a little ugly.
She better wrestle, Brady.
She better. All right, guys, we did it. We made it pretty good on time, to be honest, for 14 fights, 2 hours and 40 minutes in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Uncle Weezy, let the people know where they can find you. And if you have any final thoughts on the card, let it out.
Yeah, man. At MMA Weezy on Twitter, at Uncle Weezy on YouTube and the Rumble. And you can find my Odds Shopper probability stats and content package on the great oddsshopper.com. Best way to support my work. That's how you get access to all these stats, my fight write-ups, my betting models, all my subscriber-only content, the Discord, tracked bets, all of that available for $25 a month on oddsshopper.com. Brady, let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks on this UFC London card. I'm halfway through researching this thing, writing up these fights, and I'm really looking forward to this. I think I might have a lot of action on this card.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have more action than me, I think. But we'll see. We'll see what sticks out throughout the week once some other books get some props out that aren't complete ass. So yeah, no sign-ups on Underdog tonight. So thank you guys for that. But maybe we'll get some for the Fight Companion on Saturday, and we can get that great story on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to be chambering stories all week, getting ready for if people do sign up for the Underdog, I'll be blessing them with stories.
Psycho Parlay, I don't know, like
Mantis by KO.
That's minus 1,000.
Yeah, but we're parlaying it with Evalev by decision.
Yes,
and we need a submission out of.
I guess there's no. I don't really think there's gonna be many submissions, if any. Like I guess Patterson.
Chanel Dyer by submission.
Does she even know how to spell sub?
I don't think so, dude.
She could still sub Olivera, who's a black belt.
Oh my god, maybe Pinto by decision.
Oh god, I don't think there's gonna be a sub unless it's either Patterson or Dyer.
Yeah, I really don't see subs on this card, so
I don't see many finishes in general outside of the massive faves there. All right, guys. Agreed. We will see you guys soon. Like on your way out, subscribe, all the good stuff, and best of luck for UFC London. And don't forget to check out the Fight Companion. Be there or be square. Fights are kicking off at 1 o'clock Eastern time. We'll see you guys there. Best of luck, and we'll see you soon. Bye.